Alright, we're live now.
Hello, people of YouTube! I'm Anna, aka Articulately Composed, and I'm the writer for this round.
And I'm Janai Riley, and I am the game's director and lead writer, although I did not write this route.
Sal Stewart says, Tyzias is always a mood.
Yes,
she definitely is.
We now have a microphone that doesn't completely suck ass.
Yeah, you can hear us both now!
We're not on my laptop with the built-in microphone.
That was the worst.
Oh, it was surprisingly bad.
I don't think we're gonna do stream highlights for this one, because hopefully I'll have something much more fun for next Monday's video. But if we ever need to do stream highlights again, need to do stream highlights meaning I don't have a video planned, then we'll have a nice, high-quality audio, courtesy of Janaya's tons of high-quality audio equipment. Why do you get to have tons of high-quality audio equipment? I'm the musician here.
I don't have any, musician equipment. It's all voice recording stuff.
I deserve to have a closet studio like yours. I do this shit professionally.
Will you use mine? So, yeah, this is the second volume of Friendsim 2. This is the first one that wasn't written by me. It is following on immediately from volume 1. Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about your route?
Yeah, okay, so when we first were planning Friendsim 2, planning meaning we had a conversation in a side server and Janai was like, Anna, you want to write Friendsim 2 with me? And I said, yes, under one stipulation. I get to write the Tyzias route. So I did. Yeah, this is the Stelsius route. Because they're mine. They belong to me now. I have told the story before, but I invented Tyzias before Tyzias came out, so she belongs to me. If any of you are familiar with my musical Time's Apprentice, the character Teresa is just Tyzias, and I wrote her main song the night before Tyzias' route came out, so she's mine. She's just Teresa.
Yeah.
But, less... fix the system from within now. She now just wants to fucking destroy the system, because fucking same.
Yeah.
I'm ready to burn down the government, so are my characters.
Yeah, this route is so the game kind of has a sort of a roller coaster experience going through it, where you get highs and then you get sort of the chance to breathe a little bit, and this route is a chance to breathe, although it's not happy, but it's nothing is blowing up.
It's calmer.
It's calm.
Yes,
there
exactly. Are stakes, but the stakes are you're gonna make someone sad if you fuck up, and you don't want to make them sad because you care about them.
Because you'll still fail if you make them
sad. Yeah, it'll be really sad too. You don't want to see them cry.
But yeah, so this was this route was written by Anna here. Anna also composed the music.
I wrote all of the music, and I did the art for the bullet journal
section. Which you'll see. So we if you were listening to the pre-stream music we were playing, that was actually the two tracks that appear in the route. One is Stelsa's theme, and the other is Tyzias' theme. Then we had the background art was actually done by a woman named Magpie Raven, who is a non-Homestuck that has done a lot of backgrounds for the game. You saw some of her work in the first volume. Nobody in the airlock this time, that's correct. And then the end cards were done by Kiru, who is very well known in the Homestuck fandom. So, a small team of people, but really good. And then voice acting will be familiar because it's the same cast.
It's all the same voice actors.
Yeah. The cast does broaden out when we get beyond this route, but for now you're still in that little bubble of, basically the same people. So yeah.
We just swapped out one CL character for another.
Yeah, it's Malik now instead of Gallic. So yeah, it's good. You wanna start it?
Yeah, let us begin.
Start it. All right, I'm gonna switch over to gameplay here. Boop doop gameplay. Boop. All right.
JoJo's cute little.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are. We've got the This is the last time we did the salvation ending, I believe. Let me just...
Why don't we have the chat choose when we get there? Wait,
Yeah.
Okay, wait, should we do that, or should we do the one that I suggested earlier, just for we get all the fun dialogue options?
We should do the fun dialogue options
Okay.
one. So we're gonna play through the Revolution branch. The branching in this one happens fairly late on. There are some choices that you make that affect
Make it easier or
Yeah,
harder.
but it doesn't lock you into anything until the end. So yeah, anyway, like I said before, credits for the route are there, and plus all the people from Volume 1. Oh yeah, Pam did the Malik sprites, so new sprite artist here, whose work you will be seeing a lot of in the game. Alright, so we're going to start Volume 2, A Thinly Veiled Secret. This route contains content warnings for depiction and discussion of state and institutional violence. Route has action sequences. Player discretion is advised.
Expert, yes, Malik is very musky. He smells like shit. There is no way around that.
Yeah, I know.
You saw his apartment in regular Friendsim. Like, that's a filthy boy. He's a nice boy, but he's a filthy boy.
He is the kind of dude who thinks that Axe body spray is a substitute for bathing.
Yeah.
Whatever the troll version of that is. Spicy. Oh yeah. All right.
You sink into your seat and take in your surroundings as the small transport ship you're currently on leaves the port of Gallic Space Yacht. We've got a lot of tweets to read.
Actually, let me load the save that isn't this one, because this is the one I was testing something.
Oh,
so it has all my chitter stuff
Oh, okay. Well, this one is.
I made a save. All right.
Well, there's 30.
Never mind.
Well, let's read this. Gotta keep focused on what I'm doing, no matter what. Can't really head into town, I guess. Time to hunker down.
It is worth pointing out that as an agent of the Alternian government, an attempt on my life will be treated with the utmost seriousness. A bunch of Malik stuff, which is just, like, generic anti-Empire stuff. That's what most of it was. Oh, and then the Stelsa and Tyzias, like, backlog, basically.
I'm still so worried about her. I don't want her involved with something that will get her hurt. I can't lose her.
Honestly, Alien Invasion 1 is one of the most sensible and intelligent people I know.
God, that was probably the most stressful weekend I've ever had.
And we got a Triza.
I don't know what Triss's voice is.
Not. Don't worry about it. I know what Triza's voice sounds like.
We know it sounds like, but we can't replicate it.
Yeah. There's no way. Recent intelligence suggests that alien invasion of 1 is no longer a threat to the Empire. Please update your kill lists accordingly. Alright.
You know you've only just arrived. Wait, there's still 2.
They just popped up, because time advances when you click ahead.
You've just arrived back in Alternia, but this is the first time you've really had to relax since you returned.
Yeah, that's the, Tyzias.
Why not talk to your Morel about it? Yeah. Good idea.
Poor Tyzias.
No weddings to attend, no dead bodies to discover, no trials to legislacerate. Just you and the whir of the engines, and your 3 good friends relaxing in their own seats. Question, is the squeak of this chair, like, really loud on stream?
Move around a little bit. I mean, it's probably audible, but I don't know if it's that audible. I'm gonna turn the volume up on stream a little teeny bit.
I just want to make sure it's not annoying.
Relax, as that stuff is evil enough to be in the movie of the Empress herself.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good point there.
However, you do still have a mission. A mission to help your friends escape Alternia. As much as you want to lie down and rest, you think it would be a good idea to chat with your friends for a bit, if only to scope out the general mood.
We gonna talk to Degora first?
Let's talk to Degora.
Alright.
Tyzias and Stelsa look like they're still having a moment after the terror of the trial, so you go over to talk with your good friend Gorgor. You give him a little wave, and he looks up from filing his nails.
Bored already? You do know this is a 3-hour flight, right?
You do. You just wanted to chat a little.
Well, you know me. Every minute with me is another kager in my pocket.
Oh man, can we not do this today? You just saved his ass from being shot by his kismesis. On the day of his hate wedding!
I kid. You can talk to me however long you want, free of charge.
I just realized what we forgot.
What?
We didn't make an official cocktail for this route.
Yeah, we didn't. Whatever.
You guys will deal with that when we do the blue claw.
official cocktail is the
Tea.
quarter bottle of vodka that's in my kitchen.
Yeah, it's really bad vodka. I bought it because I have no money.
Yeah.
I owe you at least that much for convincing Gallic to leave Alternia. What did you want to ask?
What should we ask?
Why is he coming back? He's planning on leaving Alternia, right? Why is he bothering to come back to the Eustacia?
God, I wish I wasn't. Stelsa's making me come back and collect the paperwork she promised she'd do.
Is he in a group project or something?
Oh, definitely not. We're not even in the same department. Stelsa just sometimes
The
offers
cocktail's
to
the
do the more
Wombat coffee.
obnoxious.
Oh my God.
We're not buying Kopi Luwak.
Just imagine that we've taken that and dumped cheap vodka in it. Just picture it in your
Yes.
mind. For all you know, that's what we've done.
To tell the truth, I'm not sure why she does it. Maybe she finds it fun or something. She says I look stressed when I have too much paperwork, so she takes it off my hands. Anyway, even if it's technically my work, she promised she'd do it, and now she's going back on that promise. So I have to go back and collect what I gave her.
You wonder why Stelsa would offer to take on that extra burden in the first place. Either way, if it's a matter of being stressed, Stelsa's probably pretty stressed after that trial, right? You tell Tagora he should give her a break for once, especially since it's not even her work.
I guess. It's an inconvenience, but it's not one I can't handle.
Tagore is such a bitch. He's such
He
a
is.
fun character to
He's the
voice and write dialogue for. Alright, we're gonna
About his job. Tagora said he wasn't a legislacerator? You thought all Tealbuds trained to be legislacerators?
Of course not. No. We all trained to be in the legiscorpus. Legislacerators are just one branch of the legal system. Well, more like one branch cleaved in two, but you get the point. I have nothing to do with that branch. Like I told you before, I'm a showmaster.
Showmaster? That doesn't sound very lawyery. More like a job you'd find in a theater.
Nothing is more theatrical than law. Trial development is all about putting on a good show. The kind of trial you just held with Gallic is kind of unheard of around here. In most cases, if you're put on trial, you'll be executed then and there.
Ouch. You're glad Gallic's ship wasn't an actual courtroom.
I would have been dead for sure. Trials tend to be reserved for the really big crimes. Things like high-level treason, murdering high-bloods, crimes in that vein. And yes, attempted assassination of a member of the Alternian Intelligence Service would be a trial offense.
Oh, wow. So, how would the actual legal system have done that trial?
Well, as a showmaster, I've thought a lot about how I would have designed my own trial/execution.
The person that was streaming this morning was like, what the fuck, dude, with this line?
Okay, but he's not even thinking of it as a he's gonna die moment. He's that invested in the theatricality of it
Right,
all.
exactly. That's method lawyering.
Method lawyering, oh my god. I was
Incident
literally
caused
talking
Gallic
with
a
some
ton of
people today about how
paranoia,
harmful
right?
method acting
Well,
is.
Oh my
I would
God.
center the execution around paranoia. After the verdict, which takes 2 seconds and doesn't matter, I would put myself in a box made of one-way glass. The audience could see my reactions, but I can't see what's happening around me.
Oh, that was cool.
You're the streamer.
Yeah, thank you for streaming the route. That was really cool, and I like seeing people's different reactions to stuff. So, I was watching it this morning while I was doing work, so that was cool.
Then, the sounds are funneled in. I wouldn't know what method of execution is planned, so every time I hear a sound, I'd be on edge. The growl of beasts, the sharpening of swords, the spark of flamethrowers. The audience would watch me squirm until they start getting bored, when finally they simply send someone in to slit my throat. Just like the way the assassin in the airlock died.
Public voyeur Tagora.
So, just a quick bit of trivia. So, like, all of the routes, like, obviously you can choose different branching paths. The two main choices in every route affect future routes and the ending, and then there's, like, some sub-choices that will sometimes affect other things. Nothing in this specific route, but starting with, like, Volume 4, there's some choices that kind of come back to haunt you as you progress through the game. But, when we're developing the route, so, like, I'm the developer for the game, which means I'm more comfortable with the code, and, like, the other writers are not, like, programmers. So a lot of the script is basically, like, here's like a block of things that should be in this condition, and just kind of figure it out. So I did a lot of, like, just kind of taking the script and then making it so that it reacts to the previous route. Because, like, this comment will be different if you didn't lie to Galek. He'll make I don't remember what he says, but he says something different. Like, there's a bunch of different comments that change depending on what you chose in the previous route. So, maybe Tagora's a masochist, yeah. Canonically experiences panic attacks, yeah.
Do we mention our horny again?
That's up to you.
Well, I'm not gonna say if Tagora's a masochist or not, but Stelsa has a DMV kink.
Oh my god, the DMV kink. Oh god, that's the joke is that coming from, like, a fic that I wrote, basically that Stelsa's into, like, the equivalent of, like, DMV roleplay, like bureaucracy roleplay.
So she's, in bed with Tyzias, and she's like, "Oh, please tell me I have to wait here another 4 hours." And Tyzias is like, "What if I told you I have to wait here another 5 hours?" And then she comes.
There's a scene in the Hive Swap novel I wrote, Delightful Laboratory, where they're basically, like, doing a pitch thing where they're basically doing that, but, like, slightly different, but basically that.
I think what you wrote was, "Oh, tell me you think my thoughts on traditional jurisprudence are controversial."
They're basically, like, shit-talking each other's, like, lawyer skills.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's brutal. Planning these showy executions is what he does for a living?
Also, people just reacted to the DMV kink.
Who the frick likes the DMV? Stelsa.
Stelsa really likes paperwork and bureaucracy.
It's her favorite thing ever.
Well, it's no ambulance chasing, but at least it's exciting. I'd never be able to do what Tyzias or Stelsa do. Their jobs sound insufferable. You'll have to ask them about it, though. They'd probably beg to differ.
Alright, about his ship. Oh, now we get the Wombat coffee.
Oh, my pride and joy.
Yeah, it's very funny.
You take a look around the ship you're all in. Plush seats, complimentary beverages, a load gaper. It's like you're flying first class here. You ask Tagora why Galek just happened to have a first-class transport ship lying around his space yacht.
Are you hearing what you're saying? Of course he has top-quality transport ships to go with his top-quality space yacht. What, do you think they pay him pennies over an AIS?
You see Tagora's face fall.
Pennies that he won't be making soon enough.
Tagora takes a moment to think about something. He's looking visibly distressed. You prod him a bit, hoping you can calm him down.
I may have miscalculated when I agreed to go off-planet with you. Even if legiscorpus is worse than I anticipated, I have become accustomed to a certain standard of living. A standard of living that has been partially subsidized by my cosmesis. I'm going to have to put twice as much into my side hustles. Maybe I can start selling my burner husk to Tyzias' rebel contacts. I know she has them, she's not subtle about it.
If you want to talk about DMV hell, Jania's got...
I recently moved from one state to another, so I've been in the process of trying to get all of my driver's license and registration paperwork, and I've been to the DMV like 6 times because they keep telling me that the registration stuff isn't what I need, so... Yay! It's been a lot. I hate the DMV. I don't have the DMV king.
This whole joke started because we were having a conversation on Twitter that led to the words DMV kink, and then one of us were like, that sounds like Stelsa.
Yes, exactly.
Whoa, slow down with the whole girl boss shtick. You'll be back to collect them in a few weeks at most. There's no way they'll run out of resources before that happens.
Are you sure? I am a luxury few can afford.
You asked Agora what he could possibly need to use up all of his and Gallic's money in the next few weeks.
Well, there's my skincare for one. You've seen my ablution block. You know how much I need. Hair care too. I don't just keep this up naturally after all. And then there's the coffee Gallic and I prefer. Imported from a tropical colony planet 80 light sweeps away.
So the word 80 is surprisingly hard to say in Segura's voice.
Really?
I had to do multiple takes on that. 80. It's because the nasalness clashes with the 80 sound.
We refuse
I
to drink anything else.
70 if you
So we need to order a lifetime.
You get it. He's used to a lavish lifestyle. You promise him that he won't run out of lotion or whatever before you come back to him. Also, you promise he'll find an overpriced coffee on Earth that he'll love just as much as his current favorite.
So it's doing the same thing it was doing with some other people where it's just like skipping ahead, and it seems to be... The build of the game seems to like arbitrarily choose when it wants to actually wait for the voice to end and when it doesn't want to do that. So
that's not good.
It's very annoying because like it cuts off the lines earlier than it's supposed to, so I'll probably have to fuck around with the settings when we get off, and I'll probably change it so it just sustains the voice line into the next line, because that will, whatever. It's annoying.
Maybe he can try that one coffee that's made of wombat poop and costs $100 a cup. You bet he'll love that way more than his space coffee. So, it's actually civets. It's actually, Malaysian civets?
Yeah, I think so.
And, wombat sounded funnier, so I went with wombat. But a civet is actually like a weasel type thing. Like a ferret. Like Tagora's Lucis.
That's
so
right.
Maybe I should have stuck with civet.
Wombat
You
sounds
bet,
funnier.
you say. Well, if you're putting money on it, you know I won't be able to resist your wombat coffee.
No, that's not... Ugh, whatever. At least he's not panicking anymore. You tell Tagora you're gonna explore the ship a bit, see what fun surprises Gallic may have built into it.
I guarantee you there are no surprises, but have fun, I suppose.
He nonchalantly takes his nail file out and goes back to grinding his claws to a fine point as you step away.
Oh, Malik. More Malik, just...
The fire roars with every single day. This is the sound of the future.
Alright.
You walk to the other side of the room to find Tyzias and Stelsa sitting together, Tyzias' head on Stelsa's shoulder, their fingers intertwined in their laps. Stelsa seems to have a death grip on Tyzias' hand, but she doesn't seem to mind. Stelsa immediately perks up when she sees you coming.
Well, if it isn't the newest and best legislator in the Alternian Empire.
You? You point to yourself. You don't know about that. You just put some puzzle pieces together.
Nonsense. I couldn't have done a better job myself.
You couldn't have done a better job yourself because it's not your department. Thanks for figuring that out back there, though. You really helped me out.
Aw, of course. You just wanted to help out. That's what you're here to do. That's what you're here to do. Be helpful. Speaking about being helpful, you ask about whether or not the two of them have thought about your oh-so-very helpful offer you mentioned earlier.
The alternate universe thing?
Is it weird that I'm talking to myself?
I mean, no?
Yeah. Like, is it gonna be weird for people hearing? Yep, you beam at the two of them, bouncing on your heels a bit.
Do you want me to do narration for this section?
I I mean, I'm fine for now. Chat, tell me if it seems weird that I'm talking to myself. Hello, Lesbos Lacerator. Thank you for showing up. Also, Dark Fluffy Bunny, thank you for showing up. I don't think we said hi to you. They're my children. Yes. Yes, they are gay people. They are definitely gay people.
We're not.
Oh, Zizi, I think we should consider it. Can you imagine? We'd be living in a place where nobody is breathing down our necks. No more random hive stem drone checks. No more threat of death for not filling our work quotas. No more having our online data tracked.
You are very high, Sky Player. Have fun. I think this will be a fun experience while high. There was only one time that I played. I wasn't high. No, I was crossfaded. I was a little high. There was only one time I played a Friendsim route, brand new, while under multiple influences, and that was the Marvis route.
Oh my god.
That was a night.
That's a decision.
Well, that last one still definitely happens in the other timeline, though it's more so you can get eerily specific targeted ads.
Well, that still sounds better than the knife that's hanging over our throats now.
Stels, you can't be serious.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm surprised you're not more excited about the prospect of leaving.
We have things to do. People we can't leave.
I'll
be right back.
Tyzias takes her palm husk out of her pocket and starts furiously typing. She moves a couple seats away, completely shutting the two of you out.
I'm so sorry you had to see that. I don't know what's gotten into her.
Glad to know that my Tyzias voice is more distinct enough for my speaking voice that it's not going to be confusing.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be back soon. Anyway, how are you holding up after the trial? What's on your mind?
You ask if Tyzias has seemed more on edge lately, or if this is just how she is.
Just how she... No, of course not. You just popped in on us during a stressful situation.
I see you ask, I wonder who composed it? That was me. I wrote this, and I wrote Tyzias' theme, and so yeah, this is like my route.
Yeah.
I own it. I have it's my IP. Actually, so I wrote this little song shortly before this semester started, and this whole semester, my music has been played with that
Yeah,
that
that's
chord
right.
progression. I used it 98%. I used it in that one song that I wrote for Standalone.
Right, because you did the
Rogers Heart
Stelsa
one.
song a while ago and the Tyzias one more recently. Right.
Yeah. Hot Pink Denial, this song has fucking infiltrated all of my music, including my fucking new musical.
Extremely catchy.
It has real Stelsa vibes to it, yes. Yeah, I'm glad that the Stelsa's coming through.
I do get where she's coming from. She's got her Moirail, Daria. Do you know her?
Of course you know her. You're the one who brought the two of them together.
Oh, such a good matchmaker. Maybe you can work your magic and get me a Moirail. But I can't blame Zizi for her reaction. It's already so hard to be separated from the ones you love through Ascension. Being separated across dimensions would be even harder. We're so lucky that we were both assigned to the Eustacia. I can't imagine what it would be like if we had been split up for good.
Wait, the Eustacia isn't just where all teals are sent when they reach adulthood?
Of course not. Can you imagine one ship with every teal in the galaxy on it?
It's giving me some ideas for when I compose Stelsa's recollection theme? Yes, take the ideas. There was a James Roach video from like a while back that was like talking about the different instrumentations of all the casts, and I've been fucking using that as a reference for years. Like, I don't have any of the harpsichord teal sound in Stelsa's music, but Stelsa's music was never traditionally teal. I use the harpsichord in Tyzias' soundtrack.
Right.
So.
I mean, it fits her really well, so...
No, the Eustacia is just the legiscorpus flagship. We handle the general organization of the legal system, as well as the largest trials.
So I don't remember if we mentioned this in the previous stream, but obviously with a lot of this stuff, there isn't any like canon information on like what happens after Ascension or what the fleet is like or any of that stuff. So we made up a lot of it, and we drew a lot of it from different fics that we've written and stuff. So the Justitia is a hybrid of the ICO from the Progeny and the Justitia from the Delightful Abattoir, which is the flagship in that story. The word Justitia is Latin for justice, so it's very on the nose.
The, like, labyrinthine hallways is how I always pictured the Justitia, while the ICO I pictured very straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And the apartment is the Progeny apartment.
Yeah.
A while ago, I was bored, so I made like a 3D, like, you know those websites where you can just sort of like build a house, build an apartment to like figure out how much furniture you'll be able to fit in your own apartment and all that. I used one of those to build Tyzias and Stelsa's apartment from the Progeny, and I just sent those references to the artists.
Because this feels hella canon, though. Yeah, so like, I mean, we all... Like, we tried to take all of the different writers' like ideas and input and make them feel coherent. Like, obviously, you know, we don't know what any given canon writers would have gone with, but like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, this is our version of what we interpret canon as, and you know, we hope it feels like it belongs.
I think you might want to put the words above the overlay.
It's getting cut. Oh yeah, wait, why is it? It's just cutting off because it's... I don't know why. It's weird. That's very strange. I can make it bigger. Hold on. Properties.
Anything can be canon at this point. Yeah, anything can be canon.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was like... Hold on a minute.
Oh wait, that's not even... Never mind. Wait, there isn't... Is there one over there?
Yeah, this is the live version. This is the... Well, this is what we're on right now.
Oh.
So
theoretically, why aren't we seeing any comments pop up?
They fade. They fade after a few
okay,
seconds.
never mind. I'm just paranoid.
Yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, this is like a combination of different writers' input, and we took it all and kind of like gelled it together. You know, basically the upshot of it is if you've read a few different fanfics, you get some like kind of spoilers for later. Although we changed a lot of it, so you never know.
There are dozens of lower-level ships that deal with much lower-stakes jobs, like contracts and high-blood property disputes. Not to mention the thousands of Enforcement Division legislators spread across the galaxy.
Speaking about things that were previewed in fics, I actually name-dropped my 2 fan ancestors who you will meet soon in the Progeny ages ago.
That's really cool. Yeah, actually, and the characters are named, I mean, I think most of the people here played the route, so they know their names. Their names are actually pulled from, like, Jewish anarchists.
Well,
Stenia's was.
It's a portmanteau of Senya Fletcher and something Steiner?
Yeah.
Who was the Steiner?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
It was someone with the last name Steiner.
Yeah. Where's Tenia? That was...
That Tenia is...
it means something.
Latin for red tape.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, I use a lot of Latin for the fleet and stuff because it feels appropriate.
Yes, please draw them. Oh, that made me so happy.
Placement is all based off test scores. If Zizi and I hadn't placed so high, we might have had to... I don't want to think about the horrible could-have-beens. I'm just grateful we get to live out our ascension together.
About Tagora. You ask Stelsa why she's been doing Tagora's paperwork for him. Isn't that his job?
He hates busy work so much, I just thought I could take some of it off his hands. I do get through it pretty quickly after all.
Well, she clearly didn't want to do it forever, right? Isn't that why she's asking him to take it back?
Well, yes, but you see, do you ever look at a person and think, I could really help him.
I can fix him.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you do. That's a whole part of. That's a huge part of the whole friend compulsion shtick you've got going on. You didn't think that was normal, though.
Well, that's what I feel when I look at Tagora. He's so easily stressed out, and I know I could be there for him if he wants me to be. So, I take his extra paperwork when I have the time and energy.
She's got such a big fucking pale crush.
I know.
But I do not have the energy right now. Also, it does not seem fair for me to finish up the last of his work before he disappears to another universe forever.
These two are gonna live their entire life together and get all the troll merit. Aw, it looks like Stelsa cares about Tagora a lot. Maybe if you and Tyzias join him in the new timeline, he'll be less stressed and you can spend time together without worrying about doing his work for him.
So one of the people that's been live blogging the game had made some comments about like they chose Revolution in the previous route, but like it still sounds like Mispar is like trying to get them out of here because like at this point Mispar's like main goal is just getting the fuck out of here, and like Revolution at this point is like helping facilitate other people's thing. Like, Mispar is never going to be a permanent resident of Alternia because they left people behind in the locked timeline, and they're not gonna, like, abandon everybody again. So, even if you choose a revolution, like, Mispar is never gonna be the fucking leader of the revolution. Like, that's not...
That's Malik's job.
Maybe?
It's not really the leader, he's just the one who
he's
has...
like the...
He's
yeah,
the communications
he's the
guy.
communications guy. It's an anarchist, decentralized revolution.
I would love that. I really would. Zizi is just so apprehensive about the whole idea, and I could never dream of leaving her behind.
I mean, you do find out he's the leader of, like, their little revolutionary cell with Malik in it later, so...
Mm-hmm.
That's not one of the High Bloods.
Because we don't do white savior Malik here.
No, Malik is useful, but he's not the leader.
He just fucking... Malik is to the revolution as I am to my department's Instagram.
I don't know what that says about your activities as an employee of NYU or Malik, but it says something.
He runs the Twitter account. That's what he does.
Yeah, you're right. You're using the GiveTip Instagram to promote
Oh my
Communist
God.
Revolution.
I only have my job for one more week. I should use the Instagram to be like, hey, you know what would be the best step in American theater? Communism.
Rise up.
You know,
Unionize. Well, you're already a union.
there's no union for musical theater writers.
I mean, your job specifically.
Oh yeah, my NYU student jobs are unionized.
But no, not for musical theater. Right?
No, well, there's the Dramatist Guild, but that's not a union. That's
guilds
like,
are different,
that's
yeah.
like a performing arts organization. Yeah, or like ASCAP, that's not a union. There is Actors Equity, that is a union.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Equity's got its problems too, and there's no fucking protections for the writers. There are no protections for writers.
Where's Marvis, aka...
You'll find him later.
Yeah, Marvis,
much later.
so, like, you'll see some of, like, Marvis's chitter kind of, like, hints at what's going on with him. He's got some unique shit going on, along with the other Purple Bloods. We're not gonna be talking about the Purples for a while, so, like, you'll see as far as, like, where you end up, but you're in orbit for a little bit, you're on Alternia for a little bit, and you'll eventually go back into orbit, so you'll get to find out what happens to everybody. Literally every character from the original Friendsim is in this game in some form. You can't save all of them, you can't, interact with all of them in the same way, but they're all there, you'll talk to everybody. You'll find out what they're doing. Let's learn about her job.
You remember Tyzias saying something about Stelsa not being a legislacerator. You ask her what she does then.
I'm an order terrorizer, of course. I probably could have gone down the legislacerator track if I wanted to, but it can be so unpredictable. Order...
Oh shit, that was my fault. Auto-terrorizing can be much more consistent.
I'm glad to see that you're excited to see how your girl Karako's doing.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm glad that you're glad she's a girl, because we've gotten some comments, you know,
Yeah, just...
some transphobic. If anybody comes into your, like, excited posts about Friendsim 2 and starts complaining about Karako, ignore them. Because if you like this game and you like the fact that Karako is trans, keep liking that.
So, like...
Because she's great.
Generally speaking, just, like, speaking as, you know, the people who are making this, like, at the end of the day, this is a game that our team is doing. Like, even if we were the canon writers, like, if we were What Pumpkin, which we're super not, but, like, if we were, we would still be doing what we wanted to do. Like, that's what happened with the original Friendsim, that they made the decisions that they wanted to make, with very little, like, Andrew Hussey oversight, and Andrew Hussey made the decisions that they wanted to make with their stuff, so, like, we're doing the same thing, so, like, you might not love the decisions we're making, but, like...
If you don't like the decisions we're making, you don't have to play it.
Yeah, like...
We don't need... This is an unpaid project.
Yeah, like, you're playing a game for free, and also, even if you weren't, like, every artist's work is their own, and, like, at the end of the day, it's their decision, and, like, they can choose to get feedback from the public, and the public can react to their art however they want, but, like, I don't understand what the point of like, haranguing us about, like, oh, this is different, you changed this, why, like, because we wanted to, and because we have reasons, and because we want to explore certain themes, and, like, maybe you don't like that, and that's fine, you don't have to like it. It's a big game, too, and there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so. And, like, a lot of stuff hasn't been explained yet. If there's anything that looks like a plot hole to anyone, like, this is going out to anyone. If anyone's like, oh, this looks like a plot hole here, chances are it's going to be, like, sewn up in the next 12 volumes.
And there is stuff that's, like, dropped already that will be important later, and does, like, if you sift through the Chitter posts, there's a lot of, like,
Speaking about things being dropped, Dark Fluffy Bunny says, do you have plans to have the Hive Swap characters in Friendsim 2? You should look through the Chitter account. Several of them have already been name dropped, and
so,
exciting things are to come.
Way back when we were first, like, developing this game, like, when we first started announcing stuff, we got some questions about, like, are any of the Hive Swap characters going to be in the game? And we said no at the time, and that was because the game had barely started to be developed. That has changed a lot. So, like, I won't say to what extent they're going to be here, but if you read through the Chitter posts, you'll find Credea interacting with Triza, and there's another character that gets, like, referenced in this volume. But yeah, the Hive Swap characters are, at the very least, they exist in this universe, with the exception of
Joey. There is no Joey or
Jude.
Jude.
Yeah, so this is a, like, Act 1 and 2 didn't happen, so Damek and Zephyros never went to Earth, and also all of the Hive Swap trolls are, like, slightly older, like, they're, like, a few sweeps older. So, like, they're, like, 24 sweeps or whatever.
Because, like, they would have been, you know, or 7.5 sweeps when everyone else was doing Friendsim 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We got, you know, adult people.
Yeah, we have different, like, groupings of people, and that does become important. Volume... What's the first one where you really start to dig into that? Volume 7, actually. Yeah, that's where it really starts to kick off.
What does auto-terrorizing mean, though?
Oh, of course. Why should I assume you already know? We handle the internal affairs of legiscorpus.
So Credea actually is very important to the plot. Like, she isn't in the game directly. You see her in Chitter, and, like, I don't think it's a super big spoiler to let you know that she's super dead. Like, that's pretty clearly implied in the Chitter posts, that she's either been killed or disappeared. And, like, she is very important. She doesn't become very important until volume 13, but, like, the whole game's plot has already been laid out for the most part, with, like, little bits that haven't been filled in yet, but the the game's ending is there, and like volume 13 and 14 are basically done. So.
Idea and redacted. We'll have really nice. I'm
Good,
excited
yeah.
about Recollections. That sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like seeing different people's takes on it. Like, one of the things I did when I was starting to make this game was I did a lot of research on, like, existing fan games just to see kind of what people had done. And, like, it's cool to see everything from, like, games that are basically just, like, new scripts for existing assets to, like, full-on, you know, brand new games. It's really cool. And that's a good thing about this fandom is, like, there's a lot of fandom creativity. You know, depending on the ambition of the people involved, but like, there's been some really neat stuff made. All right. Boop.
Presenting elaborate show trials isn't easy, and if the other branches are left to have free reign, the delicate balance of organization goes out the window. Half my job is just convincing the show masters to scale back on their special effects. That's how I started getting really close with Tagora, actually. I had to talk him down from flooding the entire courtroom and filling it with sharks. He was insistent that it was the only animal execution he could do for the crime of impersonating a sea dweller.
That's the reference to
That's
Fiamet.
Fiamet. That's
Yeah.
Fiamet. That's how Fiamet was killed.
So, sorry, Fiamet fans. We killed her off screen at some point.
We
in the
know
last few
nothing about
sleeps.
Fiamet. There was nothing to do with her character.
Yeah.
Other than kill her with sharks.
We have a roster of quite a few characters, so some of them do end up just kind of becoming like background information, because like writing a game that focuses on like 50 characters is hard. we already have a main cast of like 40 people.
Thank you, Dark Fluffy Bunny.
Aw, thank you. Most people have really enjoyed it, and I'm glad. Like, I got comments on the first volume, and I hope that this continues. Yeah, that it felt like the characters were written as the characters, not like with our biases too much. And like, I mean, we're always gonna have our own feelings about the characters, but like, I think they all deserve to be treated like interesting characters. Like,
even ones that are like nothing.
Yeah. Zebedee.
Warning, the two of us do not like Zebedee or Vicare because they're not well written
I didn't think they were well written, but like they have potential as characters and like
and they've turned into something that's like, you know, someone you can care about.
Yeah.
You'll meet them in a couple of routes.
Yeah, you'll meet them. Well, you'll meet one of them in volume 4, and the other you won't meet until like volume 9. But like, yeah, those are characters where like they kind of like, to be super vague, they're kind of like. They're kind of agents that move throughout this story. Like they don't have a specific like route or routes, but they appear in a few different routes. And like I did the writing for those characters. Like I wrote the scenes that they're in, and like they're actually a lot of fun. Like
Zebedee actually got some like character to them now.
Zebedee's writing in the original was not like, he just kind of didn't do anything, and that was whatever. It was what it was. Vicare had a route that was like 10 minutes long, so
Vicare's only character trait was planes, and now he has more than planes.
Curse of the Beekeeper.
Yeah, oh my god, the fucking Beekeeper troll.
I love Fiamet and Cridia. Yeah, Fiamet and Cridia are like, I think their potential is really good. I made up some like Cridia lore you'll get to see in volume 13, so just trying to fill things out a little, because we learned basically nothing about them.
That's intense, and yeah, probably really messy.
Oh, tell me about it. The amount of paperwork to properly get even one shark shipped to the Justitia is ridiculous, let alone a room full of them. Aside from wrangling the showmasters, it's really mostly paperwork. It's not interesting, of course, but it's predictable, and that's all I can ask for.
You notice that Tyzias is still a couple seats down, tapping away and ignoring her mate's threat. You really want to find out what's up with her. You tell Stelsa you'll be back in a minute.
Take your time.
You walk over to Tyzias and give her a light tap on the shoulder. She jumps nearly 2 feet in the air and immediately stashes her palm husk away.
What the fuck? Can't you see I'm busy?
Actually, can you do the narration here? My throat's starting.
Yeah,
to
of course.
tired. Don't want to tire it out too much.
You just wanted to talk.
Of
She's
course I'm agitated. I was nearly shot earlier today. And now you won't stop bothering me while I'm trying to get important work done.
You ask how she's managing to get work done on this tiny transport shuttle without a husk top.
I'm just talking to some people.
Who's she talking to? Is it Daria? Can she say hi for you?
It's not Daria.
Tyzias takes a deep breath and clutches the bridge of her nose.
Can we talk about this later? Sometime when we're not in such close quarters.
Okay, you get it. You get it. You still want to talk, though. You really haven't gotten much of a chance to catch up with her.
Alright, fine. What'd you want to ask?
About her job. Okay, she's a legislacerator, right? There's got to be a legislacerator on this ship. You thought all teals grow up to be legislacrators, but apparently some aren't, and now you're even more confused about the troll legal system than you were before. Tyzias laughs.
Yes, I'm a legislacerator. What made you think we all were?
You don't know? It's the only troll legal word you really remember being tossed around. You don't even understand the legal systems on Earth. You can't be expected to remember all the alternating terms, too.
Honestly, I can barely keep them straight myself. Makes sense that legislacerator is the only title you remember, though. For a while, we were all there was.
Tyzias sprite. Yeah, the sprites are, these are, as I mentioned last stream, these are made by Daydreamer Lex, who is not new to art, but I think relatively new to doing sprites, so, like, approached them pretty early on just to say, hey, do you think you could do talk sprites? And they did all the well, not all the teals, because Torona is done by someone else, and so is Tagiri. Actually by the same artist. Pam does doing both of those. But, like, they did Stelsa, Tyzias, Gallic, Tagora, and they did the Trial Sprite variants as well, along with the Mispar Trial Sprite.
Hundreds of sweeps ago, before the adults were sent off planet, legislacerators did it all.
Yeah, the hook nose was
We're not getting rid of the aquiline nose. It is canon.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of those things that is literally canon that we're not going to get rid of.
Both of us have larger noses,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Listen, people who don't like large-nosed girls are fucking weak.
Exactly.
This is coming from a girl whose nose is so huge that it like, jabs Janaya uncomfortably. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to cause myself allergies.
We did the research, caught the criminals, presented the trial. We were an all-in-one law machine.
That sounds like so much to handle at once. You're glad Tyzias isn't saddled with that kind of expectation now.
Well, things were a whole lot less complicated before Alternian colonization really took off. For one, all trials were his honorable tyranny-based trials.
You tilt your head, confused.
The giant monster trials. All you had to do was catch the criminal, say why they're guilty, and let the monster eat their head. Once we spread out into space, it got harder to make sure there were enough monsters spread across the galaxy, so Teal started to specialize in making interesting show trials in lieu of his honorable tyranny. That's when the showmasters became a thing, and with them came the audit terrorizers to keep the logistics in check.
I love how, like, all of the problems of the Alternian Empire are, like, none of them are moral, they're all logistical. It's like, we're not gonna question killing people. That, like, we're gonna do that. It's just like, how do we do it? So, does that mean that Tyzias catches criminals? You can't picture her being a cop, especially if she was allowed to choose a track.
Oh, of course not. I'm an investigative legislacerator. Around the beginning of colonization, it became pretty clear that some legislacerators were better at actually tracking down and catching the suspects, while others were better at collecting and presenting evidence. So, the branch split into the investigative division and the enforcement division, but both kept the title legislacerator because it was so historically recognizable.
So that means she's like a detective and a lawyer wrapped into one. You ask if she's done any exciting trials where she's brought some nasty criminal to justice.
Oh, I haven't actually presented any trials yet. I'm a neophyte, which means I'm basically a research assistant to one of the senior legislacerators. They're the ones that collect evidence on site and present the trial. I just comb the archives for anything that can make the troll on trial look even more guilty. It's not a bad deal, honestly. I get unrestricted access to the Empire's legal records, which is kind of a gold mine.
A gold mine? You ask why the legal records are so important. Tyzias stiffens and side glances in Stelsa's direction.
It's nothing. They're just super useful for work.
Alright, you see you've pried too far. You decide to change the subject. Stelsa. It sure was...
I feel like alternating legal systems and even a legal system just to murder, well, I wouldn't say a circus, we have to go after that.
Yeah.
Neophyte Entic has Yep, that's her title, Neophyte Entic.
Yeah.
Which, I use in the Progeny. This is literally just Progeny the video game, except there's no baby car cat. It's okay. Not related to this specifically, but so if any of you have read the Progeny, so Karkat is Tyzias and Stelsa's child, and to keep the Empire from finding him, they put him in a foam padded closet when they're not there, and I realized Janaya has a foam padded closet, so if we wanted to hide an illegal baby in Janaya's closet, we could do that. I think there should be baby Karkat too.
We do not have an illegal baby. Government watch less people.
But I'd like an illegal baby. An ethically sourced illegal baby.
Ethically sourced illegal baby.
Is baby Karkat like baby Yoda? Do not compare my writing to Star Wars. I'm better than them. I hope.
I mean, you don't have a fucking transphobe working for you, so yeah.
I never watched The Mandalorian. I have no idea if baby Yoda is anything like my baby Karkat writing.
A little baby Karkat on
That's
the
a
tree.
treat.
Baby Karkat's fun. I somehow ended up doing the voice for Baby Karkat when we live read those, so that's like the most like vocal cord destroying voice I've ever did.
I want a baby. We're lesbians. I love that video.
We're separated, actually. Our Ascension placement is completely based on our cruelest bar test scores. We both aced the exam, of course, but Stelsa's scores got mixed up with someone who didn't do so well.
Oh no, what happens to trolls who don't do well?
For the ones who fail, instantly cold. Thank fuck her scores were swapped with someone who just did okay.
Lego turf rep, no!
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, she was a major character in the show, just she's a piece of shit, that's all.
Would baby Karkat also have Tagora's apartment as his favorite show?
Oh my god!
He would love to hear his Uncle Gorgor yell at his other Uncle
Oh my
Gallic that
God.
he'll never meet.
But for a couple weeks, we thought she was going to be stationed doing paperwork on a low-level fleet ship. We started to say our goodbyes and everything. It was...
Disney takes a breath, shuddering at the memory.
If we had been separated, that would have been it. I probably would have deserted or something. The real test scores were found before we actually went off planet. I don't know how I would survive on the Eustacia without Stels. She's really the only thing that keeps me grounded.
Aw, you're really glad they have each other. Tyzias looks over at Stelsa and sighs lovingly. About Daria. You know Tyzias hasn't seen Daria since Ascension, but you've got to know how she is. You need to know how their Moira legions first began. Tyzias looks a bit pissed off at your mention of Daria, but softens a bit once you ask about the start of their relationship.
After you introduced us, we started meeting at a cafe by the school feed pretty frequently. She was so angry, and I knew I could help her redirect that kind of anger toward the right things. I guess I saw her as a project at first. That's pretty fucking awful, not that I say it out loud. But it's kind of true. But pretty soon, it became clear that Daria was helping me too. I can get pretty overwhelmed when I look at the state of the Empire, but she helped me see past the smoke and actually get up and do something. She knows people. She might have been an angsty little shit, but she's really good with people. And she got me in contact with other trolls who had the same fire inside them. We started going to concerts together. We were even in a band for a bit.
I feel like these two go beyond quadrants. Tyzias and Daria or Tyzias and Stelsa? Honestly, if they're all just in one big polycule, I'm fine with that.
I always write Tyzias and Stelsa is vacillating, like
Yeah,
between
honestly-
pitch and flesh, like
They're
constantly.
they're pretty vacillating. Whatever it is, those two are meant to be together forever, and they're not allowed to be separated. Hence why you can't separate them.
Base. Really bad base. The whole thing was Daria's idea, and we only did a few gigs, but it was still fun. We were
Daria's
basically
punk
inseparable
band.
for like a sweep.
Which is canon now.
Yeah, we've canonized Daria's punk band. You can't tell me, keep. Go
Yeah.
to my channel. Well, you're already on my channel. Once you're done watching this stream, go to my channel and watch the Darius Punk Band videos. There are like 4 of them.
Yeah.
There will probably be more in the future.
Yeah, and also the Darius Punk Band is like plot important. It's not just like a reference we're dropping. It actually becomes pretty important in like volume 6 and 7 in particular. Especially volume 7.
I don't think there was a day where we made it official, not like there was with me and Stels. We just started calling each other Moirail at some point because it just made sense. God, I miss her so much.
Wow, they sound like they were so close. You're so glad that you introduced them to each other. It sucks that Ascension had to separate them. Sucks that Ascension separated her from her whole network of friends, it seems. Wait, these people, Daria... Ow! Tyzias gives you a sharp kick in the shins to shut you up, furiously glancing at Stelsa and mouthing, later. Alright, shut up. Jeez.
I also remember when you did fan art for that. Thank you for that fan art.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Hey, you have a Spotify playlist for Darius Punk Band? No, the Darius Punk Band songs are on Spotify.
The ones that were covered, maybe?
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Yeah, those would be on Spotify.
Or I guess it's just maybe Spotify lets you upload stuff like YouTube music. I don't
Maybe.
fucking know. I don't use
Daria would
Spotify.
try to spitball a high blood when she was younger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I should go back over there. Apologize for leaving so abruptly and all that.
Tyzias moves back over to Stelsa and lays her head on her shoulder. You smile. No matter what bullshit either of them going on, they always seem to have each other. After a surprisingly long journey, you hear a beep and an automated message.
The shuttle will be landing at the Eustacia in 5 minutes. Please do not leave your seats.
Let's check.
Yeah, let's check Cheddar.
Oh, we got a Chixie.
I'm so lucky I get to create for a living. It's such a privilege.
Fucking Chixie's public and private.
The fire roars larger with every single day. This is the sound of the future.
This fucking ship sounds like it was named by some violent motherfucker. You peer out the window by your seat and watch.
Oh, you have a whole playlist of songs you've assigned to. Can I have that? Can you share that? I need more ideas because the thing is, like, I don't listen to a lot of punk. I listen to a lot of musicals.
Yeah.
So a lot of the ideas I have for Darius Punk Band are actually just songs from musicals that just happen to be in that style, like stuff from Hedwig and stuff. So I need some like actual punk to put in Darius Punk Band. Send me that playlist, please.
You peer out the window by your ship and watch as the spacecraft pulls up to an enormous spaceship, large enough to hold an entire civilization. If you hold your head at just the right angle, you can see the shadow of Alternia looming beyond the edge of the Eustacia. You made it. The rest of your friends are in Rachel, so they save just for the hell of it. And the shuttle pulls into a port, and you see your first glimpse of the interior of the Eustacia. The walls are the standard Alternian purple you're familiar with, embellished with teal cyberpunky decorations. Yep, this is definitely a teal ship.
Well, here we are.
Ah, home at last. Oh, I can't wait to hop in the shower when we get to the apartment block.
God, I know.
Hey, Gallic gave you the best wedding accommodations you two will probably ever live to see, and that lack of a shower saved your ass.
I know. Come on, let's go home.
The three of them lead you down a series of labyrinthine hallways, just row after row of huge windows staring into space, and mysterious unlabeled doors that could lead to anywhere. You have no idea how they navigate anywhere in this place. It's like a haunted college English department and a baby with a robotic corn maze.
You're probably going to want to stick by us as long as you're here.
So you don't get lost forever?
Lost? What are you talking about? This is one of the easiest ships to navigate.
So who pinged us? Oh, Tagora.
Tagora.
I swear, some people are just perpetually ungrateful.
You got something to say, Sorgor?
No, it's because you're a callable offense.
But you thought Gallic took you off the call list.
Just because the Empire isn't actively looking for you doesn't mean they won't feed you to the beast the second someone notices a strange, pasty white alien on an authorized legiscorpus ship.
You gulp and pull up your hood, pulling the strings tight. You'd normally fall back on your innate friendship magnetism if you ever got into a situation like that, but you remember that was all a lie. You're not under any scratch manipulation spell anymore, and you're all out of powers. The four of you stop at a pair of identical doors, one with Tagora's symbol on the door, and the other with Tyzias and Stelsa, side by side.
Well, it was an honor. I hope you two like drowning in busywork for the rest of your lives.
Tagora slips into his apartment with a dramatic flourish and slams the door behind him. Tizzy sighs and unlocks her own apartment door. You step inside and, wow, it's surprisingly huge. This is the one that's just like,
This is
based
the
on the
progeny
reference for
apartment.
the progeny apartment.
So that door there, it looks like it's supposed to be the front door. No, that's the door to Carcat's closet.
Carcat's closet.
Isn't it lovely? Zizi and I were so lucky to have gotten one of the quadrant suites.
The place really does look like a home. You step inside to take a better look around as Tyzias tosses her stuff onto the couch, a lounge plank. One day you'll make a dictionary of all the troll words you should have memorized by now. Stelsa starts to take off her shoes, jumping up when she catches a glimpse of the calendar.
Zizi? Is it really the 24th of 8th perigee?
Yep, why'd you ask?
I can't believe I forgot. I'll be right back.
Chitter.
I think it's the conversation between Tagora. Oh, well, if you thought this extremely vague post was about you, then... He's such a bitch.
I love him.
Stelsa bolts into the back room and comes out with a small candle in a glass container and a black leather-bound book with her symbol in the cover. You ask what she's doing with all that.
Oh, this is a yard
That's
sale
literally
candle.
a fucking conversation
You
in the
burn it
progeny.
for a full day cycle on the anniversary of a loved one's death, to honor and to remember them.
Oh my god!
Carcat comes out of the closet. Oh. I mean, in an ideal world, he would.
Yeah.
My Lucis passed 3 sweeps ago today.
Oh no, you're so sorry to hear that. Stelsa opens the book and points at an illustrated page.
I was supposed to light the candle at sunup, but with the wedding and trial and everything, it just slipped my mind.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sure that's fine, though. It's not like night and day mean much in space anyway.
Stelsa lights the candle and stares into the flame.
I miss you every day.
So does Tiz later. I'm sorry,
Comes out of the closet? I don't know.
I mean, Tizias is always out of the closet.
Yeah.
She's got a fucking girlfriend.
She's not subtle about it. You take a peek at the open journal page and, wow, this is gorgeous. This is one of those fancy aesthetic bullet journals, isn't it?
It certainly is. I didn't make it, though. It belonged to my ancestor. Tyrona gave it to me shortly before I ascended. She found it in the contraband locker of all places. Isn't that
the
crazy?
supply closet, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The sad closet.
sad
we call it the
closet.
sad closet, and that's what her song's name is called
It's
too.
called the sad closet. Yeah, if you look, so just real quick, if you look in the credits for the musicians, it does tell you the names of the songs. It doesn't tell you what they're associated with, but here we have Hot Pink Denial in the Sad Closet. The contraband locker at their law school? That's a little weird. You ask you and take a peek.
Oh, of course. Let me show you some of my...
I hate to interrupt your catch-up session, but it looks like our favorite show is on.
Favorite show? You try to ask, but Tyzias puts a finger to her lips. Very faintly through the walls, you hear what sounds like Tagora screaming to himself. Tyzias runs over to the wall to press an ear against it, while Stelsa shakes her head in disapproval. Hold on 1 second.
The list of
There we
things
go.
is never ending.
I mean, it's The disadvantage of having only one developer is, like, less bug testing ability, but also, like, it's nice that people are so, like, responsive to it, and then I can just turn around and be like, here is a patch.
Yeah.
And sometimes bugs are just weird. Like, we had one person that discovered that if you finish the previous route with the chitter screen open to the investigation screen, and then you go to the next route without going back to the main menu, you're locked on the investigation
Ooh,
screen until you
ouch.
reload your save. So, big bug. It's fixed now. I patched it earlier today. Favorite show? You try to ask, but Tyzias puts a finger to her lips. Very faintly through the walls, you hear what sounds like Tagora screaming to himself. Tyzias runs over to the wall to press an ear against it, while Stelsa shakes her head in disapproval.
ZZ, that's awful.
What can I say? He's fucking hilarious when he gets mad.
I'll let this tick up. It's the Tagora Gallic. You get closer to the wall, not pressing yourself against it like Tyzias, but close enough to make out words.
How dare you? I'm your husband. How could you do this to me? And right before our honeymoon, no less.
Tyzias has a shit-eating grin on her face, barely stifling laughter. Stelsa is still across the room, but you can tell she's curious.
Come on, you know you want to hear this juicy shit. It sounds like Gallic is cutting him off financially or something.
No, not the coffee. Anything but the coffee.
Oh, fine.
Stelsa presses her ear against the wall next to Tyzias, the two of them sharing chuckles as Tagora continues to rant. After a while, Stelsa's face falls. She pulls away from the wall and heads towards the door.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna check on him really quick.
You know, for no reason.
You know he's gonna be fine. He gets in a phone fight like twice a week.
I just want to make sure.
Stelsa bolts out the door while Tyzias walks away from the wall and plops down onto the couch.
I'm gonna miss that little shit when he's gone. Not as much as Stelsa will, though. That pale crush she's got is intense.
Oh, she wants to be Moirails with him. That explains the paperwork thing.
Yep, it's honestly kinda cute.
Tyzias sighs and scrolls through a palm husk.
Sorry about shutting down your plan back there. I know Stelsa is interested in leaving. She might even be interested enough to leave me behind.
I need to end part where he realizes he's there with the fist to the vibe. Yes. Tagora punches the wall.
What in the Empress's name is going on here? Well, we can discuss this at a later time, but my point stands that we cannot afford our previous lifestyle. Maybe you can't.
And as much as I'd love to live in your utopic locked timeline with her, you know why I can't do that. But I can't let you take her from me either. So the best thing I can do is try to make her forget about it.
You say nothing. You know you can't separate them, but it's not right for Tyzias to force Stelsa to stay miserable in legiscorpus like that. Also, we got the rest of this conversation. Yes, that is precisely the issue at hand. I'm glad we could come to an understanding. Tyzias' palm husk buzzes and she shoots up.
Oh shit, I gotta go.
She pauses for a moment and looks you over.
Hey, wanna come see what's so important that I can't go with you?
I hate you. Tyzias walks through the door and gestures for you to follow. Oh, hell yes! Revolutionary activity time! You bolt off the couch and follow her out the door. You follow Tyzias through yet another series of labyrinthine hallways. After walking past what you think must be the residential section, you take a left at a water fountain.
I'm gonna need you to keep quiet while we do this, okay? It's still pretty early, so no one's out yet, but if we wake someone up and they see you, we're both gonna be in deep shit.
Understood. The two of you reach a huge row of windows, and Tyzias gestures for you to follow her to the right. So, fun fact about this specific background is one of the references provided for this is actually an abandoned building that I took a picture of many years ago. So I have, among other things, done urban exploration photography, and this is based on a
This girl has done literally everything. Like, name a thing, and Janaya has done it.
So there's an old former mental facility, and this is based on like the general layout of like the community center attached to it, which had this very interesting like multi-layered setup with like a ton of really cool graffiti. It's a really interesting location. Wow, you knew space was vast, but seeing it out these enormous windows really puts into perspective just how tiny you are. The two of you come up to a portrait of an important-looking teal blood next to a door. The plaque under the portrait reads Head Legislacerator to Mean Lash.
That's the head's office. We do not want to run into her. Fuck, I don't want to run into her when I'm doing my job.
That's another progeny reference, by the way. Samin Lash and Mr. Argent, who Stelsa talks to later, are teal blood OCs that I make for the progeny.
She ushers you to the right, walking a little faster than before. One more turn left, and she stops in front of the first door. What do we got for chitter? Oh, Stelsa.
I am going to be supportive. I'm going to be understanding. I will not publicly criticize the High Blood for its many obvious flaws, even if those flaws are glaring and numerous and make you question your friend's choice in kismacies. It's a sad closet.
Tyzias opens the door and drags you inside. Once the lights flicker on, you can see you're in a pretty normal-looking supply closet.
My place of operation. It's the only room in the entire ship that isn't bugged to hell and back. I paid Tagora to take out the security camera for me. He climbed up onto the top shelf and accidentally kicked the camera while trying to reach something high up.
What is...
I am here to be supportive, not as a potential Moirel, but just as a friend. Way to say this in public, Stelsa.
Tyzias pulls out her palm husk and starts typing.
Now, we have to keep this quick. The longer we spend in here, the better chance that we'll get caught.
You nod. Tyzias' palm husk starts to buzz, and she opens up a video call.
Has the fire been stoked?
The flames are getting larger as we speak.
You got the list? How long is it this time?
Pretty long. Another one of our operations got busted. A ton of low-blood bystanders got caught in the crossfire. Anyone who survived got put on the cull list.
Wait a minute. You recognize that voice? Is that... You crane your neck to take a peek at Tyzias' phone, and oh my god, it is!
Robo-buddy?
Malik! It's actually him! You practically snatched the phone from Tyzias, much to her displeasure.
I never thought I'd see you again. Are you okay? When did you get back?
You start to tell Malik about your adventures, barely holding back tears as you talk.
I'm so glad you're back. I knew you didn't forget about us.
Skyplayer says, oh no, he's hot. Malik has always been hot. Malik is the certified hot boy of Friendsim.
The sprites for Malik, along with... So, of the ones that have been revealed so far, the sprites for Malik, Tagiri, and Philippe are all done by P. Pamda, who did the Purim sprites for Befriend Us, actually. That is the reason that I approached them, because I really like that. I really like that route, I really like the art, and I mean, I really like that route because I like Purim a lot. Having her literal, actual tattoos on my body. And also, our friend Crow wrote that route, so... Yeah, but the art was really cool, so I wanted to see if they'd be willing to work on the game, and they are. They've done a bunch of sprites, and some more that haven't been revealed yet, and some that are finished yet.
Hold on. What's your new husk number? Let me tap you into the secure network.
Just as you're about to tell Malik, Tyzias snatches her palm husk back.
Hate to break up the reunion, but we're kinda on a time limit here. Do you have the names?
Oh, right. Sorry about that.
Tyzias pulls a small notepad out of her pocket and begins writing a list of names that Malik rattles off. Most of them are complete strangers to you, but your ears perk up at the names Tagiri, Kalber, and Philippe Gozi.
Them again?
What can I say? They do a lot.
And get caught a lot.
Tyzias sighs and writes down the rest of the names.
Please be careful on the next mission. This is the second list you've given me this week.
Hey, I don't like it any more than you do. The Empire pulls its shit whether we want it to or not.
I know.
Do we still have a minute, or do you have to leave? I gotta get RoboBuddy into the network. I don't want to lose contact with him again.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll give you two a moment.
You make grabbing hands at Tyzias, so she hands you Malik again. The two of you exchange info, and Malik tells you all about the rebel chitter feed that he tells you should keep an eye on. You're so glad you found him again. You missed all your friends while you were on the other timeline, but you had especially missed him.
Malik would make jewelry from monster can tabs. Yes, he would.
Oh my
He
god,
would.
you're right. Once the two of you wrap your reunion up, Tyzias takes the palm husk back to sign off.
I'll text you the signal once the records are gone.
Of course. Stoke that fire.
And with that, the call ends. Tyzias puts the palm husk back in her pocket and starts toward the door. So this is what the revolution does?
It's what I do for the revolution. Every week or so, Malik gets me a list of names of people who need to get off the cull lists, and I go into the records while I'm doing work research and erase the paper trail. I'm the only one on the inside, so it's up to me to make sure nobody in the rebellion stays on the cull lists. If they stay on and a drone so much as catches a glimpse of them, they're dead.
Wow, that does sound pretty important. You're glad she's doing something to make a difference. The two of you walk back to the apartment in silence. You don't know if it's just the light, but the dark circles under Tyzias' eyes look even more pronounced than before. You ask her if she's doing okay. She gives you a confused look.
Why
Where's
wouldn't I
the
be
chit?
okay?
Yeah, these are the Malik ones too.
You ever like someone and just not know how to tell them? Alien Invasion 1 is a really good friend. Really good friend.
She just looks kind of drained. You're guessing the trial took a lot out of her.
Yeah, that makes sense. I probably just need to lie down for once.
The two of you enter the apartment and find Stelsa at the dining room table, flipping through her journal.
I was wondering where you two had gone.
I was just giving our friend a tour of the Justitia.
That sounds fun. Good thing it's after hours, too. Wouldn't want them to get caught.
Can you keep them entertained for a bit? I need a nap.
Of course, of course.
What do the numbers in Malik's chitter bio mean? You know, I don't.
I believe it spells out rebel in
It's in hex,
hex. Yeah, R-E-B. Or something like that. It's hex.
Resist? Maybe it's resist.
So,
No, that's still one too
no.
many letters. Wait, no.
yeah, it's resist. It's resist. R-E-S-I-S-T. Yeah, if it's in hexadecimal. Numbers is IP address.
It would not be his IP address. He's not that stupid.
This is like a vague harkening back to when we were, when I was working on our previous game that's now indefinitely suspended, New Game Plus, which is we did in like an ARG at one point where we had like a bunch of stuff that was out there that had like hints about how to find out more, and like I dramatically underestimated how quickly people would just like rip through that. Which was fun. It was cool to see people like engaging with it so much, which is it's really neat. Damn, they're talking about you like you're their kid they need to watch over. Not like you have an excellent track record of not causing trouble, but still.
So, are you still interested in taking a look at my journal?
Oh, hell yes. You're always down to learn about your friend's family lore. Stelsa ushers you over to the couch and flips the book open to its first page.
This is the bullet journal of my ancestor, Tyzias and Stelsa. She was alive right around the time of the start of colonization, but before ascension was made mandatory. She was one of the first Order terrorizers. Makes sense too. Just look at how organized this journal is. I hadn't even gotten the journal yet when I chose my path of study. I must just have some generational memory that drew me to that kind of organization.
Wow, so this ancestor is able to do all the work of auto terrorizing on top of creating grieving rituals? That's impressive.
Oh, no. Stenya didn't create the outside candle. That's just a Jewish tradition.
Stelsa flips to a tab section of the journal. It shows you a few of the pages. Trolls of Judaism too? You had no idea.
Looks like there's more similarities between our worlds than I thought.
You have some Jewish friends back in the locked timeline. You've got to introduce Stelsa to Rose and Roxy when you get back. That is, if Stelsa wants to come, of course.
I would love to come and meet your friends, but you know I can't leave Zizi like that. I'd also love to connect with other Jewish people. I haven't managed to find any information or communities online. According to Stenya's journal, she had a large Jewish community she was a part of, including trolls of all different castes. But those don't really exist anymore. Well, they probably do, but they must be very far underground. It seems like we were pretty heavily persecuted throughout the sweeps.
Well, there's another similarity to Earth Judaism.
But at least Stenya's journal is very thorough. I get to study where I come from with full illustrated guides.
Stelsa flips through another few pages. Some have pictures of food on them, others have illustrations of stories, a couple have what look like sheet music.
I wish I could figure out what these ones mean. I've tried to ask Zizi for help since she used to play music, but she never actually learned how to read it.
You know some people you're sure could read music. You could hook Stelsa up if she wanted it.
No, I'd rather keep this to myself for now.
Fair enough. The two of you flip through the journal a bit more when you hear a knock at the door. Stelsa opens it, revealing an incredibly disheveled Tagora, his eyeliner running down his face and his palm husk and a death grip in his hands.
Oh my goodness! Gorgor, what happened?
He's cutting me off. No thanks to you.
Tagora spits that last bit in your direction.
I told you I had something to worry about. Now how am I going to afford anything?
Ah, yes. The traditional Jewish song, Megalovania.
It's Megalovania, but covered by a
klezmer
band.
Klezmerlovania! Klezmerlovania!
I wouldn't be overly surprised if that exists.
It'll be okay. Come on, we can work this out.
Stelsa ushers Tagora out of the door and leaves you alone in the living room. Well, I guess you're gonna chill by yourself now? But it's so hard to chill when you know you have a mission. How can you relax when you know that Stelsa and Tyzias need to make a choice so they can be saved? Though, now that you think about it, it's not much of a choice. Stelsa wants to come with you. Stelsa needs to come with you if she's gonna be happy. Eartha's safety, a Jewish community, everything Stelsa could possibly want. Everything except Tyzias. You can't split them up, not after they've gone through to stay together. You wonder if there's any sliver of hope that you might be able to convince Tyzias to leave the revolution.
You want me to take over? Your throat sounds dry.
Yeah.
There are plenty of causes on Earth she could fight for. And there's no way she's that indispensable to the revolution, right? But you doubt you could convince her. Tyzias has a one-track mind when it comes to breaking the system, and no amount of friend persuasion is going to change that. Though maybe you don't have to be the friend to persuade her. Malk seems like he's pretty high up in this rebellion. You bet anything, if he told Tyzias to leave the cause for her own sake, she'd have to listen. You plop down on the couch and start scrolling through your palm husk to find his contact. Oh right, you can't call him from here. You have to go to that private closet if you want to call him safely. Just as you're about to get up, you feel a hard sensation against your leg. Stelsa's ancestor's bullet journal has slid down the cushion next to you, and holy fucking shit, you want to snoop in it so bad. You should really go ahead and contact Malik, but one peek won't hurt, right?
We're gonna call Malik,
We're gonna
right?
call
So we
Malik.
get the longer argument
Yeah. 'cause
with
we
the
need
mental
to-
health line.
Mental health is not a priority.
That fucking face. I made that expression just for that line.
Oh my god, I love that. There's no time to waste. You bolt out the door and start heading to the secret closet.
So we should get like at least one of the bad endings.
Oh, we gotta get, yeah.
The tigers and everything.
We have to get the tigers. We could get both the bad endings. Let's get both the bad endings.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, you have no idea where you're going. You really didn't think this through, did you? Come on, think. Which way did Tyzias take you?
So the game actually has like a couple, like the first hallway you can't fail, and there's actually a little, I don't know if you call it an Easter egg, but there's a little extra bit if you let the timer run out.
remember taking a left first. Where was that left, though?
So I'm gonna do that.
You're running out of time, and who knows how much longer you'll have before someone catches you, or Tyzias and Stelsa start worrying about you. Spurred on by this sense of urgency, you randomly choose a direction. Well, hot damn, looks like luck is really favoring you today. Like, you're willing to bet if you were just to keep randomly choosing a path, it might actually work.
It will not.
If you randomly choose a path, will it automatically take you to...
I'll show you.
This section of the game seemed like it was going to be a lot harder than it is. But you can't quite remember where you went from here. Which way should you turn?
If you let it run out again, it does have, like, some different...
Once more, you decide to trust in fate. After all, luck worked so well the last time.
And there's the bed in the hallway.
After walking for a bit, you come up to a door labeled Supplies. This must be it. You thought you remembered walking longer last time, but whatever. Your memory's probably playing tricks on you. You open the door and... This isn't the same supply closet, is it? Instead of shelves stacked to the ceiling with office supplies, you're greeted by 3 snow-white tigers that look like they've been intentionally starved. Ah, this isn't an office supply closet. This is a trial supply closet. Those starving tigers don't give you even a second to try and run before pouncing on you. Feast of failure!
Also, like, this... That's what the tiger stuff in their Twitter feed is referencing. Like,
Yeah.
it actually references something in the game.
Well, you're here early.
They ran into some obstacles.
Understandable. Honestly, that legiscorpus shit is built like a funhouse maze. We'll be seeing you again soon, I'm sure.
Alright, there we go. Let's do this the right way. It's right? right? Yeah.
You take a right at the row of windows, taking a moment to gaze at Alternia looming below. You continue walking straight until you come to the portrait of the scary lady you saw earlier.
Get the bed into here, too.
Yeah. You know you turned here before, but which way?
If you let a timeout, it does the same thing as if you choose wrong.
You got a bad feeling about what you're gonna do, but you know what? You need to get moving. Can't stand around waiting for fate when you can go seize it by the horns or whatever. That's the thing people say, right? You take a left at the portrait. This hallway ends pretty abruptly at a single door. You thought you remembered taking one more turn last time, but you give the door a try. You push it open and find 3 confused faces staring back at you. Oh shit, you stumbled into some kind of meeting. The woman in the middle looks kind of familiar. Short cropped hair, teal power suit, eyeliner that could kill a man. Oh fuck, it's the scary lady from the portrait! You try to back out of the meeting room, but one of the teals clicks a button and the door shuts and locks behind you. The 3 get out of their seats and start to surround you. You're fucked.
I already have the antecedent achievement, but this is the secret achievement for this round. If you...
The antecedent, a reference to Janias Vick.
Yeah.
The antecedent, the sequel to the progeny. That's a good kitty? Oh, the tiger.
The tiger.
So tigers can shit, but not sharks?
I
Typical.
mean, tigers don't require, like,
Water.
a tank or anything.
Yeah.
Alright, so now the same. Try again. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Right. And right.
You take a right at the portrait. You know you're getting close now. One more turn and there it is. Tyzias' debugged supply closet. You enter and flop down against a huge box labeled Supplies before pulling out your palm husk to call Malik. The end cards are so good.
Yeah, Kira does really, really good art.
After a few rings, he picks up.
Has the fire been stoked?
What? What fire? You tilt your head and Malik frowns.
Show me the room you're in.
You tilt the phone, showing him the supply closet.
Okay, good. You're clear. Sorry about that. I guess Tyzias didn't tell you about the passphrase.
Passphrase? Oh, is that the thing he and Tyzias started the other call with?
Yep. We started recall with it just in case one of us is compromised. The network is secure, but people can always listen in or force us to reveal info.
You nod. Can't be too safe when committing a treason.
What's up? Did you miss me that bad?
Malik laughs and you give him a smile. You did miss him a ton. You want to just catch up and chat sometime. However, now is not that time. You need to talk to him about Tyzias.
About Tyzias? Aren't you, like, staying in her apartment? Can't you just talk to her directly?
No. This is something you need his help with. Actually, you think he might be interested in hearing about this too. You tell Malik about the locked timeline and your plans to take all your friends with you to safety.
You found a way out. Out of the Alternian Empire for good?
Yep, just like you dreamed about all those sweeps ago. You can make his dreams come true.
No, absolutely not. The work I'm doing here is way too important.
You take it that means he's not going to help you convince Tyzias to leave with you, is he?
You think I would be able to convince her to drop the revolution? Tyzias won't drop the revolution for anything. Not even her own well-being.
So he's also noticed Tyzias is looking a little more worn out than usual.
Oh my god, you see it too? I mean, she's never been a ball of energy or anything, but half the time she's zoning out during calls. And she started drinking coffee. Coffee! Tyzias hates coffee! She's been like this for over half a sweep. She was okay when she first ascended, but isolation really grates on a person.
Isolation? Tyzias isn't isolated. She's got Stelsa and Tagora too, and all these scary teals on this huge scary teal ship. It's not like the rebellion is locking her in this closet.
Isolation from the other rebels? From her friends? I'm the only one she's allowed to stay in contact with.
You know, she's fine. She's on this giant ship full of cops. It's great.
What could be better? As long as you got your girlfriend there, you can deal with as many cops as possible. I think that's her cue to start, like, attacking cops.
You can't walk 3 feet without bumping into another camera. I know, because I've hacked their security before. If she's caught clearing records, anyone she's in contact with can end up being a suspect too.
No, because Dunkin' Donuts is gross. We're getting Tyzias a hot chocolate from Blank Street Coffee.
So I wonder if orphaners exist in modern Alternia. So they don't, but you will meet another character that is, shall we say, reminiscent of that vibe, but worse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Next
will
volume.
technically meet him next volume, although you won't know much about him for a while. Although if you pay attention to the Chitter feeds, you'll see like references to him throughout the game. And I try not to forget about those things. I try to like actually make them, pay off in the end. So keep playing your
Okay,
game.
putting myself in that position. I know how to evade drones when I need to, but everyone else, they don't need that. The only time Tyzias talks to anyone in the rebellion is during our meetings, so yeah, she might as well be locked in this closet.
By the way, thank you for the playlist. I will take a look at that and see if there's anything I want to parody. Oh, is it that guy from that one fic?
Maybe. If by that one fic you mean the Delightful Abattoir, then maybe.
Wow, that sucks. You really hope the work Tyzias is doing is worth it.
Oh, it's been amazing having that extra level of security. No one's had to worry about being put back on the call list for an old crime for ages.
I will say this won't really like become apparent until volume 13, but like if you know the character that I mean, because it is a character from one of my novels, I made him worse in the game. I made him somehow worse.
Evil. He is awful.
An old
crime?
Oh, yeah. When someone gets put on the call list, their name is uploaded to a registry.
Yeah, he was on the audition sheet. So if you audition, you know. Oh yeah, the one section I didn't see. Yeah, we're doing this section.
Yeah.
So you get to see Malik now.
And also printed out into a physical record, which can be re-uploaded if, say, someone hacks the system and erases the drone registries. I'm the one erasing the data. Tyzias just destroys the paper trail.
Wait, so Tyzias is the one erasing the evidence? Malik shrugs nonchalantly.
Nah, I can do that remotely. Tyzias is just a failsafe in case I ever get caught. Or if for some reason I can't hack the system and the drone records have to be accessed from a government computer, but that's never happened.
Yeah, it's...
Not
Sure
yet!
hope that doesn't happen in a few volumes. That would be bad, I think.
So what Tyzias is doing isn't even necessary to the rebellion? Malik arches his back like a startled cat, panicked.
Oh, of course not. She's really helped us relax and given us the courage to do more dangerous missions and...
The two of you are interrupted by a turn of the doorknob. You jump behind the box you were leaning against, and Malik ends the call. You feel the palm husk buzz and see a text from him. Call me back later if you're still in the Eustitia. We still gotta catch up. You send him a cute emoji back, a cute emoji react back before slowly peeking over the box. Hopefully whoever just came in only needs some quick supplies. Your stomach drops when you remember the box you're hiding behind is labeled supplies, except I fucked up and it's actually labeled storage, but fuck that. Oh, it's just Tyzias. You jump out from behind the box and Tyzias leaps a foot in the air.
She only leaves 1 foot in the air this time. She's like calming down.
Holy fucking shit, what are you doing here?
You were just chatting with Malik again. Is she here to do the same?
How did you even... Well, at least you had the sense to come here before calling him. No, I'm not here for Malik. I was actually hoping to have a moment alone. So assuming you got here fine, can you please just go back to the apartment block?
Yeah, you get it. Tyzias probably just needs a minute to call her Moirail, right? She looked like she just needed to talk to Daria all day. Tyzias gives you a death glare at the mention of Daria, and all the pieces start clicking into place.
What part of I haven't seen Daria in over a sweep do you not understand?
What has already happened? We've learned a lot about the characters, including a little bit about Stelsa's ancestor and Tyzias is super stressed and helping the rebellion via, like Malik's instructions.
We haven't looked at the bullet journal yet.
Right.
Tagora had his rampage about the coffee already. You thought you just met in person. You never thought, oh god, everything Malik said makes so much sense now.
When I ascended, I had to make a choice. I could either leave the rebellion forever and be a good little cog in the legal machine, but keep all my contacts from the planet, or I could become an indispensable part of the revolution, but never talk to anyone again. The choice was obvious. I thought I'd be fine. I'd only been Moirails with Daria for a sweep at that point, and it's not like I was dying without one before.
So that previous set of lines was actually in I think it was the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
And we actually mocked that up for the gameplay trailer, because at that point, this route was still being written. So we just did like this one section of it imported so we could get somebody's writing that wasn't mine. Just for some variety. And like, I think you recorded just the lines for that.
And it was fine at first, but the work up here gets so soul-crushing, and I can't really complain to Stelsa about it. She lives through
Daria
bureaucracy.
is not actually a space node, not yet.
No, yeah, you'll learn about them in Volume 6. So just to, give you an idea of where a lot of this stuff is coming from, it's my personal, interpretation of the Alternian Empire, which I then force all the writers who don't agree with me to adhere to, is that they kind of suck at doing, actual organization. They're very good at hurting people and being, a conquering empire, but they kind of suck at, bureaucracy. So people that are on planet can sometimes, stay on planet past their 10th sweep because they're still working on, processing shit, so...
They're not gonna track down one person.
Right.
Or even 3 people, for that matter.
Yeah, there's... And also, the Jades in the Cavern are doing a job that's important, so, they need to find a replacement for them, which, hasn't happened yet, so...
Wanchi's still a little young to be the matriarch.
Yeah, you'll meet Wanchi in Volume 5, and you'll meet,
The other Jades. Yeah.
Well, Wanchi and Lank in Volume 5. and you'll meet the other J's in Volume 6.
And just... Fuck, I miss her so much.
Tyzias slumps against the shelf and draws her knees up to her chest. You take a seat next to her.
So no, I don't get to just call my Moirail and talk through my problems. All I get is this fucking closet.
Yeah, being a Saison would suck, and their feelings about that kind of stuff are very important.
If being in the closet is reminding her too much of rebel shit, why doesn't she go back to the apartment?
No, I can't. I can't let Stelsa see me cry.
Tyzias curls in on herself. You try to put an arm around her, but she shrinks away. You want to do something to help? She can't keep living like this.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know that I'm falling apart? Stelsa tells me to slow down. Malik tells me to take a break. Even Tagora has noticed I'm more fucked up than usual. And now you barge in here threatening to take away my last piece of stability. I've already torn myself up this much for the revolution. I can't give it up now.
Well, there's always more than one choice to be made. She can't go with you, but staying here is destroying her. There wouldn't be any way to convince Stelsa to leave the Justitia and join the revolution, would there?
No fucking way. I love Stelsa, but she's never taken a risk in her life. God, you have no idea how much I've dreamed of escaping from this hellhole with Stelsa. Just the two of us, disrupting the system hand in hand. Just like Tagiri and his Moirail. Who would have thought he would be the one who got out?
Damn, you really need to do something to help her. You try to comfort her again, but Tyzias pushes you away.
I just need to be alone right now, okay?
Fair enough. You leave the room and close the closet door slowly, leaving Tyzias in the dark.
Poor Tyzias.
Yeah, I really made her suffer, didn't I?
You did. Hope Lank is still being thirsty. Maybe... Lank is,
He's not doing too hot.
He's not doing too hot. Like, you get a surprising amount of, like, character depth with him. There's a few characters that, in the original Friendsim, they were kind of one note, even though I liked them a lot, and I wanted to give them a little more depth. Lank was one of them. Elward was another one. I want to say Lanera, but, like, her route was actually pretty kind to her. It's just the way she was portrayed in Lank's route kind of sucked, but, yeah. Tyzias God, yeah.
Yeah, I really did make her suffer. Listen, sometimes you just gotta kill your darlings. And by kill your darlings, I mean give one of your favorite characters insane depression.
Did you read this already, or do you
as you make your way back to the apartment, you think about what Malik told you.
I was wondering if you wanted me to
I
take
forgot
over.
to. And Tyzias' role in the revolution isn't entirely necessary. If she left, they would still exist without her. If Tyzias knew that she's not as indispensable as she thinks she is, would she still martyr herself like this?
Volume 1 about the cave empire. It's going to be relevant. Oh, you picked
remembered!
You picked up on that incredibly specific line. That it's so out of place. It can't possibly be anything other than a reference to something that hasn't happened yet. Or something that's already happened, but it's not a reference to something that's already happened. Yes, the line about the cave and the pirates will be important. I won't say how.
Question, will Lanera still be BPD coded like she was in Friendsim 1?
So, I don't have BPD, and I'm Lanera's primary writer, so, like, kind of, but, like, more like, autistic, specifically. More autistic, less BPD. And there is actually an in-game explanation for some of the, like, less great elements of how she was portrayed.
It's actually really funny.
Yeah, there's, like, the whole, like, threatening to kill Miss Parr stuff. There's, like, I tried to take a very sympathetic tact with Lanera because I really like her, and I feel like her route is pretty good, but then Lank's route is kind of mean to her for no reason, and I wanted to, like, walk that back. So, yeah, Volume 6, you'll see, it does explain that. But, yeah, I wanted to keep her as a, you know, neurodivergent character. Just that specific personality disorder is one I don't feel as comfortable leaning into just because of the lack of personal experience. So I decided to go in a slightly different direction just because I wanted to portray her in a way that felt genuine.
Also, you fucking kin Lanera, so.
Shut up. That is true.
Don't worry, it's only appropriate that a Lanera Kinney is dating a Rania voice
You're
actor.
right. Well, I'm excited about the Lanera VA too. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And I've got her lines too, so. Tagora is a Tagora space player brain. I'm an irritated writer and I've been through hell. BPD Lanera. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like you can interpret Lanera in a couple of different ways, but, like, the bad interpretation is that she's just, like, evil and loves murder for some reason, but, like, I feel like, generally speaking, like, trying to portray the characters in a, like, sympathetic light, not necessarily meaning that they're, like, you know, little uwu babies, but that they are not treated like they're all irredeemable monsters.
Are we keeping Lanera's voice actor on the hush-hush for now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, we can't tell you yet.
Yeah,
we'll find out eventually.
That's they are, I don't know if the people listening to this stream would know who she is, but, like, she is...
Pretty high profile.
Pretty high profile, yeah.
Not the highest profile we have.
Not the highest profile
we have a very high profile VA that we are not mentioning.
Who? So, yeah. Alright.
You bet if you could talk to her again when she's calmed down a bit, you could convince her to leave with you. And maybe with Tyzias on your side, she could convince Malik and Daria and the other rebels to leave too. This quest might not take as long as you thought. You're hoping that when you get back to the apartment, you can hang with Stelsa some more. But when you get there, she's nowhere to be found. Still with Tagora, maybe?
Lanera needs therapy. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them need therapy.
Yeah. Well, if they all go to the Revolution, or the Salvation ending, then they can all get therapy on Earth.
Yeah!
They all deserve it.
Fucking Rose.
Rose will never be without clients again. Right, my personality disorder towards Amber. Do it. Seriously.
Yeah, like, I mean, one of the things about having characters, like, can't wait to hear all the VAs. Yeah, we got some
we have
really
so many
good,
talented VAs.
really good performances.
Like, the first 2 volumes are just made of people who are on my channel, but just keep listening, you'll get some people who are, like, good.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, not that the people in these first 2 volumes aren't good, I mean, fuck. Text professionally does audiobooks and shit. It's not like these people aren't professional VAs too, but, like, you know, professional VAs with, like, video game credits and stuff.
Yeah.
And more credits. You hear a faint voice through the door in the back of the apartment. Oh no!
I mean, that's the thing, like, because I've heard, like, one of the things that was, like, really early on in... Oh, yeah. You'll see.
Rose, how does your religious trauma make you feel? Yes, as baby
As
Carcat.
baby Carcat, yes.
Okay, honestly, that would be hilarious. Yes, Casey Reggio plays baby Carcat.
You know, I did a very shitposty PSA with Casey for last year's SawCon. I think I might be able to convince them to do baby Carcat. Like, but yeah, I was gonna say, so one of the comments, like, very early on, before anyone knew anything about the game, because, like, I decided to go with the original tagline, "Sometimes you can save everyone," which made some people think this was going to be a very, like, you know, feel good, like, happy game, and
Aisha said something about it.
Yeah,
like,
Aisha
I would
was
never,
like,
I would never make a happy ending for all my characters.
Oh.
We're really not. Trust me,
Like-
they're suffering.
like I said, I wanted to portray them in a balanced way that felt authentic, and, like, sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad, and, like, sometimes it depends on the choices you make, so, yeah. Be mindful.
voice through the door in the back of the apartment.
Yes, I'll get right on that. I know it's due this evening, but I let you all know I would be out of the office this weekend for a hate wedding. I filled out all the unpaid leave paperwork, even made sure it was filed properly myself. Yes, I understand. Of course, Mr. Arden. You won't be disappointed.
So actually getting Casey on my channel was a random fluke that happened because of Uber. So Uber usually does Tagari, or has done Tagari for my channel a bunch, and one day, so Uber's like friends with Casey through this like VR,
Yeah, VR chat.
yeah, the VR chat thing, because they do a lot of designing environments for VR chat, and Uber asked Casey if they would take their place on the video that I was doing. So the fact that I got Casey on my channel was just this like random crazy fluke.
I
It's
mean,
like, holy
like-
shit, thank you, Uber.
Well, because they had got, like, because I got to know them through, like, they were working on, working with us on SockCon. So, like, because Casey's, like, super fucking chill. And they were working, because, like, we did that PSA, like, VHS style video with me and Casey doing the narration. Or, well, I did narration and Casey did CarCat. So yeah, I got to know them through that and all that stuff. So yeah, that was cool that they did the Tagari voice. Yeah.
You've got 2 videos on my channel that are your quotes. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you're the only person making HypeSwap incorrect quotes anymore, but I feel like I have to put out an incorrect quotes every 6 months or else my channel's gonna fail.
Right. Did you read this line? I don't remember.
Bureaucracy. It's all the same no matter what galaxy you're in. Stelsa seems pretty busy. Oh shit, the bullet journal's still out. You gotta take a look at these spreads. Stelsa sounds like she's got a lot of work to do. She probably won't be out for a while, and you doubt she'd mind if you took a peek. I designed this! I drew this. I fucking spent so long.
Fucking forever on it.
I redid this spread. It's Stenya's weekly agenda. She's got some gratitude and habit trackers and everything. Looks like some of the pages blocked off with pink tape. You wonder if it was Stenya that put that there or Stelsa.
So this thing, like Anna just mentioned, she did this like as a physical, actual book.
I have this journal. It is
Right,
in my
like
bedroom.
it is a physical thing, which then I took very high resolution photographs of and did some like, you know, making it a little less like a photograph looking, and you know, messing around with it. So
I can give you the actual translation. You know,
I wasn't
my
sure if you
handwriting
still
is bad.
had it.
Oh, it's in my notes.
Nice.
Like my handwriting is bad in English. I'm not going to imagine you'll be able to read my Alternian.
I think there's an update in like that I'm gonna push out at some point that mentions offhand that you can look at this, because like watching the stream this morning I realized that it never actually says you can look at anything. So like you're gonna just like flip forward.
Well,
But
okay.
yeah, you can look at most of the sections.
But it's not as fun that way. Okay, you can try, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, go for it. Like it is all actual text.
A habit tracker. Looks like Stenya was into health and fitness too, or at least she tried to be. Only enough water 4 days out of the week. She's gotta hydrate better. A gratitude journal. Grateful for my good friends and comrades who stand by each other. Aw, that's so nice. You gotta do the to-do list. You missed that one. A to-do list. Looks like the usual stuff. Laundry, shopping, emails. I wish you knew what was under that tape, though. Also, you wonder who Tenia could be. A coworker, maybe? Busy week. Damn, a lot goes into trial prep from an audit terrorizer side of things. You were so tempted to peel up that tape and find out what's under it, but you don't want to risk destroying Stelsa's heirloom. Why did Stenya have to leave early on Wednesday? What was happening on Sunday that she had to bring leftovers to? A monthly calendar. 14th perigee. Huh. You always assumed Alternian months would have actual names. That would be like if you called July month 7. What is under this tape? There's no way this was something Stenya put here. There's little bits of blue peeking out from under it. Stelsa is clearly hiding something. Oh, Stenia's wrangling day was this month, and she gets a whole week off from work for something called HIC Hatch Week. Lucky! You wonder what AFJC is. But they seem to be meeting pretty frequently. A bill pay checklist. Rent, electric, water, insurance. The tape is starting to peel off a bit on this one. Looks like it says dues. Was Stenia in a union? Is that why this is covered up? Are unions even demonized on Alternia like they are in America? Stenia is pro-union. Yeah, there were only those ones. It's the candle spread from before. Yahrzeit candle, to remember the dead. Looks like Stelsa's been adding her own notes to this spread. Is any old candle okay? Scented or unscented? Try bsecretioncandleco.com. That's the next page. Your Alternian may be a little rusty, but usually you can read it just fine. You have no fucking clue what this says. Looks like Stelsa didn't know either. She left a note to translate it later. It's the Mourner's Cottage. That's literally just the Mourner's Cottage. Translated from the phoneticized English. Because, I mean, it's originally in Hebrew, so it's from Hebrew to phoneticized English to Alternian. Dates. This must be a list of people Stenia wanted to make sure she mourned every year. Wow, she knew a lot of dead people. Looks like Stelsa added her own date, 24th of 8th perigee, Mom. You know you shouldn't mess with the journal, but there's a bunch of pages taped together and you just gotta see what's in this section. Sorry, Stelsa. Holy shit. Are these plans for an anti-Empire protest? Was Stelsa's ancestor a protest leader? This can't be right. Stelsa would never be proud of being related to a protest leader. Then again, that would explain the tape. You gotta take a closer look at this. Looks like she was protesting Ascension recruitment. We will surround the recruitment center and block all entrance. Sounds like a solid strategy. Knowing how things are now, you don't think it worked, though. But it looks like all protesters got a free breakfast, at least. Protest supplies. Let's see. Food, water, first aid kit. This looks pretty standard. Please tell me at least Fairy Dad is still alive. I'll cry. Is Fairy Dad still alive?
Fairy Dad is still alive.
Yay!
It never mentions him specifically, I don't think. But, yeah, he's not dead.
Good. Eye protection, body armor, horn prosthetics. This looks pretty intense. Frequency disruptors? Shit, what was Stelsa's ancestor up against? They can't arrest us all. They did arrest them all. You sure hope they didn't. Then again, knowing the Empire, they probably did way worse than just arrest the protesters. So I'm currently working on a companion fic to this route.
Nice.
And it is about Stenia and her life and, how she became an auto-terrorizer and also how she became a protest leader and how she joins the Summoners Rebellion, and then when the Summoners Rebellion peters off, she starts her own little rebellion. And this is the protester where this is the protest where she's arrested and killed. So spoilers for this fic I haven't posted yet. Looks like they were marching pretty close to a drone maintenance facility, so you're guessing this event probably didn't end well. Is this a hand-drawn map? That's so cool. With color-coded routes and everything. You're guessing this is probably photocopied and passed around to protesters beforehand. Or maybe she just hand-drew the same map over and over again? Nah, that's probably way too much work. Then again, you see how much Tyzias wears herself out for the sake of revolution. What's saying Stelsa's ancestor wouldn't have done the same? Holy shit, Stelsa's ancestor is fucking awesome. Who would have thought your most risk-averse friend would be related to a protest organizer?
So the map in there is actually loosely patterned after the area around the Austin police headquarters. Because during the 2020 BLM protests, I was doing protest photography and videography for a few months, and...
You know how I just said this girl does everything? This girl does fucking everything. She was a fucking she was shot at by the cops.
You get very familiar with the area around, like places where there's regular protests, to the point where you kind of know where everything is and how to, like, get away, because, the cops are not great with protests.
That explains why the journal was found in the contraband locker, doesn't it? But if Stelsa's truly so against rebellion, why would she have kept the journal? Unless...
Two ancestors. Yeah. Can't have every parent dead here. So, I don't know when... Oh, no, I do know when I started this. I started this with a unrelated, like, Alternian Fleet comic I was working on. But I had this depressing headcanon that when people go through Ascension, their Luci are typically killed, which is canon to Delightful Abattoir, but not to this game. Like, it is in no way canon and not supported by canon. It's just like a super depressing thing I kind of thought up.
I'll be marching tomorrow morning. That reminds me to check the map. Oh, nice!
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a abortion protest, a anti-getting rid of Roe v. Wade protest kind of thing.
Yeah, be safe.
Please.
Keep in mind where your exits are and all that.
Make sure to wear a mask, not just for COVID reasons, but because they will track you.
Yeah.
But also, it's still the height of COVID. Like, don't stop wearing a mask. It's literally global pandemic time.
Yeah.
This might be your chance to convince Stelsa to step out of her comfort zone and fight for what she knows is right. As you're considering what to do with this new info, Tyzias comes back into the room. Her eyes are puffy and she looks no less worn out than she was when you left her in the closet. She flops down on a chair, not giving you a second glance. Both Tyzias and Stelsa are living a lie and they're suffering for it. You can't let them keep doing this. Whose illusion will you break?
Yeah, let's do save. So yeah, the Tyzias is, so basically it's which of them are you gonna convince they aren't doing the right thing. So if you do Tyzias, that's salvation. If you do Stelsa, that's the revolution, which is what we're gonna do. Absolutely.
And glucose tablets?
Good. Yeah.
Can't go out, but damn, I want to fight. Yeah. We were gonna go to a protest last weekend, but I was like floored with exhaustion from... What was I even doing last weekend that I was so floored with exhaustion from?
School shit.
I mean, yeah, school shit. Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna do Stelsa.
Oh, wait, right. Your kids kept us up all night.
Yeah, because they were fighting with each other until like 6 in the morning.
We were literally up till 6 in the morning.
God.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Children. You make your way to the bedroom door and give it a cautious knock.
Come in!
You enter to find Stelsa hurriedly typing away at a husktop, desk littered with papers.
Oh, so sorry you have to see me like this. I just got a call from my boss. I'm very behind, and unfortunately I have very little time to talk.
There's no way she could put her work back for a couple of minutes, is there?
Not a chance. Mr. Argent needs this paperwork before the evening shift begins, and I can't let him down.
Well, what would happen if she did let him down? Stelsa stops her frantic typing to look at you.
Why? That would cause complete and total chaos. If the paperwork isn't ready, then the next stage of trial prep can't commence. And if trial prep isn't going forward, it gets delayed and creates a clog in the legal machine, and we can't have that. When the higher-ups hear about who caused said clog, all fingers point to me, and I'll be put on a cull list for sure. It's best to just do what I'm told.
How is that okay? Doesn't the fact that she can be put to death for not finishing paperwork make her angry?
Well, yes, but emotions like that aren't very productive.
But what if they could be productive? She could use that anger to do something powerful. She could use the anger to fuel real change, just like Stenya did. Stelsa freezes, eyes blown wide open.
You read Stenya's journal. The forbidden part.
Yep. Hidden washi tape section and all.
You need to forget about everything you read in there. You can't tell a soul what Stenya did.
This woman Stelsa admires, whose journal is helping her learn about who she is and could be, it was an anti-empire protest organizer. That's not the kind of thing that can be easily forgotten.
If anyone ever finds out about where I come from, I could be culled on sight. We both need to pretend we never saw anything.
And that sucks. Doesn't that make her angry? She needs to let herself rage. Stelsa sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose.
I'm not sure what you're trying to get me to do here. Sure, I could rage, but it would only get me cold.
Hilarious thing, Chrissy always calls it washi tape.
Yeah.
So
I keep misreading it as that too.
I do decorative planning because I'm a fucking dork. I fucking color code my planner and I made a spread specifically for Janaya a couple times. I color code my planner, I put all sorts of stickers on it, and I use washi tape. And I've been doing this for years, so I knew what washi tape was before I knew who Wanshi was.
Oh, hey,
it's
JoJo's
JoJo.
here. Hey, JoJo.
Hello, am gay.
We're gonna be, we're still got a little bit to go. We're doing the final bit here.
You did make music for this. We heard your little...
Yeah,
Your ditty.
yeah, JoJo has done the little, like, staying in the beginning for Studio June, the ending music, so all the, like, the end credits, the good and the bad ending little stings, and then JoJo is doing some other music for later routes, which you'll hear in a few. There's some songs of hers in Volume 5 and some from later volumes.
Also, there's a couple JoJo songs sprinkled across my channel, too, because she lets me use them in my videos, because they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, the system is flawed. Yes, I'm tired of constantly living in fear of my own past. But there's nothing that can be done about it.
Imagine having multiple musicians. We have so many musicians. Like, we have so many.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Of course there is. There's always a way to make change.
How do you propose I use this anger to make real change? Preferably without facing the same horrible fate of my ancestor.
You think for a moment. Why does it, like, switch?
It's to randomize the order.
Ah. You know, there are other people out there that are just as frustrated at their superiors as she is. And they're there to protect each other. If she's... Wait, was this a correct answer?
Yes.
Oh, don't we want to hear some of the incorrect answers?
Oh, I was gonna do the mental health one.
Oh, well,
Do you want to blow through some of the other ones?
Yeah, we should
Okay.
see some of the other ones. She's really unhappy with the way things are in the Justitia. There are people she can talk to about that.
Are you suggesting I join
Stelsa leans in close and whispers.
a rebel group?
Yeah, she doesn't even have to do anything dangerous. The first step towards making things a little better is connecting with others who want to do the same.
Are you insane? Do you know the kind of negative attention that would bring? Do you know how many sleepless days I've had worrying about Zizi and what would happen if whatever group she's a part of gets caught?
40 routes? Recollections has 40 routes? Holy fucking
That's
shit.
a lot of routes.
Good luck.
Zebra, don't worry.
He doesn't get redeemed, if that's what you're worried about.
You will, your skin will crawl, but you will be satisfied in the end.
He gets his comeuppance.
I've been
His
writing.
comeuppance was my idea.
Yes, I've been writing a lot of Zebra's dialogue I wrote, and it is just the grossest shit ever.
That's a route that the two of us are collaborating on.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's just too dangerous.
But think of the people you could meet. Think of the things you could finally feel comfortable talking about.
What could I possibly need to talk about so much that it's worth risking my safety?
There's all sorts of injustices on Alternia that she doesn't even know about. Doesn't she think it would be fascinating to learn about them? The Teals all seem pretty sheltered up here. You couldn't imagine she knows much about the lives of Rustbloods, does she?
No, but I don't imagine their lives are very comfortable. But there's no use thinking about that. The only one whose life I can control is mine. So I've vowed to work as hard as I can to give myself the best life I can muster.
I should go through to the next one, because we only get a certain number of failures before it loops us back to the council.
Don't we want to see the new council?
We do, but there's like 6 choices on the last one.
Memex says, can he lose his arms again, please, for me?
Oh my god.
He doesn't lose his arms, but it's still satisfying.
Yeah. It's more of a psychological comeuppance.
can do it. I hope so. That's a lot of work.
And that's life can't be cut short by dabbling in questions I was never supposed to think about.
You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do that. Stelsa mentioned earlier she didn't want to mention the journal to anyone. You think you understand why now? But what if Stelsa could find community that she could trust wholeheartedly with that information? Think of all the things she could learn about her own lineage. Stelsa's eyes widen.
That's not possible. There's nobody who I can trust to show the journal to. It was risky enough to show it to you, and I'm starting to really regret that decision. And even if I talked to a few people about it, what could they possibly do to help? There is no Alternian Jewish community anymore.
The street meal is blueberry frosted mini wheats. All I have in the fridge is a truly... a truly lemonade. Or a truly hard cider seltzer. Whatever it is. Those are kind of gross. But they get you drunk. They do the job. Doing a bunch of sprites, sing with writing, voicing 5 characters. Did I mention directing? That sounds so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have a huge team. Good luck. Good luck to you and your small team. I'm glad we have a huge team.
Yeah, like the overhead of like.
Because games are a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, like I mean, a lot of it depends on like how ambitious you want to be as far as writing and like development goes. So like I'm a professional software developer. Like that's what I do for a living. So like the game dev part is pretty like that's a thing I know how to do pretty well. I've done game dev before and I've been playing games for like 30 years. And then like I'm a fast and I like to think fairly competent writer. So like those are kind of the things that I focused in on and then got people who know how to do like art and music because I don't know how to do that. I know how to do UI design, which is a very different skill set. That is a thing, like I did all the UI for Friendsim too, but none of the actual like character art or background art or music.
That is a pretty big team. 36 people.
Yeah, that
Pretty
is.
decent.
Like, I think ours ended up being like over 100 people because of the VAs, because we've got like 30-something VAs. Like when you have 45, 50 characters, like you're gonna have a bunch of VAs even with people voicing multiple characters. So, or you have a bunch of characters all sound the same, which is
Act 2 dumb zebra down. Made Trixie look like she's comically overreacting to him.
Yeah, he's real bad.
Oh yeah, we do not dumb zebra
Yeah,
down
he is real bad, and like the deal with him and Trixie is very complex. I am very excited that volume 7 is where they show up, and I have put an obscene amount of work into it, and I will not say anything more because I want it to be a surprise, but I am so excited.
It's gonna
to
be
drop that
incredible.
trailer.
I can't wait for you all to see it.
Reconciliations and VAs of multiple roles. Yeah, I mean that's like normal. That's normal enough. You know, we have a lot of VAs that are doing multiple characters.
I mean, we each voice 3 characters.
If you include bit characters, we
Oh, yeah,
voice
yeah,
like
there's-
6 characters,
yeah.
but like they're like little bit parts,
That doesn't
and
count.
that doesn't count. No.
Throwing in a Vriska adjacent sound here and there.
Vriska voice and me doing a bunch of like variants on some other voices. I will drink to this route and be mean. Act 2, Marvis sends Zebra to get called if you really look into it. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, he totally
that's
does.
exactly what happens. Like Zebra,
It's called Slam or Get Called, and that boy cannot slam.
yeah, because they mentioned that only the like Purple Bloods win. So
Also, he's just bad at
he's
things.
just bad at things.
I mean, you saw Marvis's expression when you listened to that mixtape.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, volume 7, you will. I have not attempted to woobify Zebra. He's a gross dude. But I also tried to get him like in that sweet spot of like
Realistically.
Yeah, he's like not a
He's not a
mustache
cartoon.
twirling villain. He is a fucking creep.
voicing Tizzy, Staria, Elward, Sarava, and a character from Volume 1 that I can't talk about yet because it's a spoiler. Nice!
Nice.
We get it, you're an alto. Yeah, no, that's a lot of similar characters that I voiced because, alto!
Yeah.
More alto rights. Look at this review of Friendsim 2. Oh, what review of Friendsim 2?
I don't know.
What's he gonna send us, Jojo? But you know people who can do some digging. Malik is a hacking genius. You bet he'll be able to find all kinds of information about Alternate Jewish communities. And those traditional songs in the journal that she couldn't read? You're sure Tyzias' old bandmates are part of the rebellion? They'd totally be able to decipher sheet music for her. Even without all that, wouldn't it just be nice to be able to talk through all of this with new people while she learns about where she comes from?
I suppose it would, wouldn't it? I've showed the journal to Zizi plenty, but she only knows as much about this as I do. Maybe a non-teal perspective really would help me learn more about Stenya.
Exactly! This would be good for her. You start tugging on her sleeve. Come on, you know a great place where you can get her in touch with some helpful...
2,000 out of 10.
Aww!
This
your local zebra
isn't
today.
right.
Yes.
I am where I am meant to be. My entire life's work has led up to my assignment on the Eustacia. It's such a privilege for me to be here. Why would I throw that away?
Because she's unhappy? Isn't that enough of a reason to walk away from something?
Plenty of people are unhappy. Almost everyone I know is unhappy. That isn't enough of a reason to throw my safety and everything I've worked for in the garbage.
Stelsa rubs her temples and turns away. Damn, you thought you were so close to breaking through.
I'll tell you what. Give me one good reason. One genuinely convincing reason why I should abandon the Eustacia, and I'll go.
Alright, what's the...
Well, self-care should be a good enough reason.
Self-care, the fucking face.
She says being unhappy isn't a good enough reason to leave, but that sucks! She should be able to put her own priorities in front of someone else's for once.
How dare you insinuate that I don't practice self-care? My body is in peak condition. I make sure I get the mandatory minimum amount of rest, and my ablution blog is full of self-care products. But
love
most
making fun.
importantly, I keep myself safe.
I love making fun of the fact that self-care has become, like, a commodity. It's like, oh, if you're gonna
Yeah,
practice self-care, that
exactly.
doesn't mean, you know, treating yourself well and avoiding burnout and, like, you know, eating food that makes you feel full and all that. It's fucking skincare products.
Yeah.
Self-care is skincare products.
Mental health is not a priority.
That's fucking face. So the artists give us, like, you know, poses and expression variants, and sometimes I will mix and match the expressions and the poses to get, like, additional facial expressions that the artist maybe, like, you know, wasn't told about or I didn't think of. So, like, I was playing around with the different, like, facial features and realized that if I combined, like, the suspicious eyes with the smile, it made her look absolutely unhinged. And I'm like, I need to put this somewhere.
Yes.
What's the... It could be fun. There's a lot of bad ones. I know it's
Fun.
the first one.
You think I would throw away years of hard work and as safe a position as I can hope for fun?
What's the shitter? Oh, Zebra's
Zebra.
automated. God, he's such a fucking creep. Hashtag Blue Blood Lives Matter.
See, he's the worst.
Yeah, if you read his Chitter feed, you'll get an idea of how he's written.
Thank you for playing it.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Maybe? Stelsa doesn't even dignify that one with an answer. Stelsa turns away from you, flipping through some papers and furiously typing.
I'm so terribly sorry, but I do need to get this work done.
Yeah, here's the bad ending.
But you weren't finished.
My bosses are waiting. The Eustacia is a finely oiled machine, and I can't be the rusty cog that breaks the whole ship down.
Will she be free to talk later?
No, the work is never done. I'm sure Zizi will be able to keep you company for the remainder of your stay. Isn't that right, Zizi?
Stelsa yells that last bit out towards the door. You hear a non-committal, huh? Coming from the living room.
Feel free to leave whenever you like as well. There's an escape pod a few corridors down. I'm sure that can take you to wherever you need to go. It was lovely talking to you. Goodbye.
Can't get it open with your nails? Use, like, something to lever it. Like, a screwdriver or, like, a nail clipper or some kind of metal thing to lever it up. The council will see you now. Once again, your vision floods white. Fuck, you didn't even die this time. What are you doing here? You may not have died, but you still clearly need a do-over.
Not all fatal mistakes end death.
You're not sure if you'd consider failing to convince Stelsa to join the revolution what you'd call fatal. Oh, but it is. Both of them are miserable, and something needs to change. You know that as well as we do.
It's not an impossible task. You just need to appeal to what matters most to them. You might want to consider changing your approach, though.
Changing your approach? You don't have all the information you need to make this easy. Like we said, it's not impossible, but if you want to get the two of them out as soon as possible, you might want to consider approaching it from the other side. Are you sure? Convincing Tyzias to abandon the revolution sounds near impossible. Just think about what you know. There's a missing key to the path you want to go down. You can break the lock if you want, but the path of least resistance is always an option. Go on, give it another try.
We'll be here to catch you if you fall, or if you fail.
Aligning my liver chakra.
Yeah.
Whose illusion will you break?
Alright, we're gonna do this proper now.
Zoom it through, yeah.
Yeah.
Come in. So, what? You. If. Sure, yes. How do you.
There are a lot of funny answers in the
do
wrong
you know
answers.
how
You should
I
click on
can't-
them if you play the game yourself.
What could I possibly need?
Journal.
That's not. It was. And
Alright.
I suppose it would. I've showed the journal. Maybe a. This. It's. Plenty of people. I'll tell you what. Give me one.
Alright, there we go. Center blood.
You reach over towards Stelsa's desk and grab the bullet journal, flipping to the freshly retaped forbidden section. Once again, you break the seal, leaving Stelsa to wince at your actions. You flip to the protest map spread. You ask Stelsa if she's ashamed of what Stenya did.
Ashamed? I don't know if shame is the right way to describe it. More like fearful.
Yes, you know she's scared of danger and conflict and all that. But when she looks at the spread, does she feel ashamed of what Stenya organized?
Well, no. Quite the opposite, actually. It's honestly admirable. The first time I saw the protest map, I was filled with an undeniable dread. But every time I've looked at it since, I've been more and more impressed. Organizing a protest must take an extreme level of management skill, and the fact that this was all done on paper is even more impressive. But what astounds me the most is the insurmountable courage this must have taken. She was brave enough to stand on the front lines and risk her life for something she believed in. I can't even muster the courage to ask Mr. Argent if I can implement a more efficient type of spreadsheet at work.
Oh shit, I wasn't even thinking about that she was a blood player. Well, if Stenya could have that courage, why can't she?
I'm a coward. Isn't that obvious? My whole life has been dedicated to doing exactly what was expected of me, just for a guarantee of safety.
God, there's a later volume that has a wordplay joke that I made and then forgot that I made it, and when I was reading it back, I thought I had accidentally made it, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, it definitely was on purpose.
And more, it feels like that's not a guarantee anymore.
The last shred of Stelsa's professional demeanor snaps, and she slumps over. You rush over and put your hand on hers. If she's willing to take a little leap, just one tiny step in the direction of danger, She'll be surprised at how courageous she can be. And most importantly, she'll be able to be herself for once. Not the organizational machine she was trained to be, but the real Stelsa Says.
Put two and two together with the pirate cave.
Stelsa straightens up and takes a breath.
Okay. I think I know what I need to do.
I will say that, like, I feel like there's enough information in the chitter post of the people that you have available to figure that out. Pirate Cave reminds you of, like...
Blood swap Jade Ramela.
Hmm.
There is no blood swap Jade Ramela.
No.
But that does have
That is...
Ramela vibes, I
Yeah,
guess.
it does.
Jade Ramela would be a true Virgo.
You will not see Remily for a while.
Yeah, I pronounce her name weirdly, so sorry about that.
Is it Elward in the Cave of the Caverns or Underground City? Oh, you read my novel, didn't you? There is no Underground City in this.
Yeah.
As cool as a concept as that was, that isn't a thing. Although Everdim is the name I picked for the city.
It is just a literal cave.
It is literally a cave, yeah. You're if you read Elward's Shitter feed, you get some of that vibes.
She takes the journal from your hand, stands up, and does a little shake to shrug off the negative emotions before opening the bedroom door. You will not see her for a long time, I am sorry.
But I will tip you in that she is not dead. I know that her chitter is like one of the missing ones, like Credea, but unlike Credea, she's not dead. So you will eventually see her again.
Shall we read the chit?
Yeah. I think it's Tyzias's, like, I wish I could tell her. Yeah.
I wish I could just tell her.
Zizi, we need to talk.
Fuck.
I know this is something I've avoided talking about for a while. It's pretty far out of my comfort zone. But I can't kid myself any longer.
Please don't draw it out like this. Just say it. You're leaving me for the new timeline.
Okay, so the chitter accounts that are on Revive Swap, so like those are all of the chitter accounts that exist in the game, but some of them are not going to be accessible until the route with those people in it. So like for
The Jades, right?
like with the J among others. So like for example, what's the first one you'll unlock? Sarava, I think is going to be the first one you unlock. So like when you meet Sarava, you'll get their chitter feed. Excuse me. And so on. The Jades obviously they have a chitter feed. Wanchi has one. Elward you already can see.
Cece, I want a divorce.
Lank, yeah, like everyone that has a profile has a chitter feed. You just have to like wait for some of them to show up.
I want to join the rebellion.
What?
I know you're part of some rebel group. I don't know what you do or how involved you are, but I want to join you.
Tyzias turns to you, mouth agape.
What did you say to her?
You shrug. All I did was point out some stuff in her journal, and the rest fell into place.
Her journal? What was that?
My ancestor was a protest leader. She documented everything she did, including the protests. I tried to cover it up, just in case someone tried to connect me to her crimes, but this one here really is quite the detective.
Stelsa hands Tyzias the book, untaped pages wide open. Tyzias flips through a couple of them delicately.
Your ancestor was the Scrivener.
The what?
Stelsa looks just as confused as you do. Tyzias is almost bouncing with excitement.
The Scrivener! She was the leader of a brief revolutionary movement based around protesting forced ascension. It was snuffed out really quickly, so there's not that much info about it. But your ancestor was so thorough with documenting everything that I found a couple of her protest guides in my research. Nothing this complete, though.
You know things about Stenya that I don't? You need to tell me everything!
What volume do we meet Sarava in? They first appear in volume 4. So volume 3, you're gonna meet Skyla, Connell, and Marsty. along with one other character who makes a brief two other characters who make a brief cameo appearance, and then in Volume 4 you're going to run into Sarava, along with more Marsti and some other people. Marsti actually got a lot more character development than in the first game, like a lot more, like going from being like a nothing character to being very important character, yeah.
Like, so important that she has multiple routes.
She's in like 4 routes.
Yeah.
Well, technically, she's in 3 plus like 2 seconds of Volume 9. Hey!
Hello, thank you for showing up.
Yeah, we're almost done, but we still have a little bit to go.
And we'll probably chat after the fact.
Yeah.
I've tried to look her up in legiscorpus records before, but they've basically wiped her from history. The only thing I could find about her is that she was eventually arrested and tried by some legislacerator known as the Diligent.
Yup, the Diligent, otherwise known as Tenia Entic.
What? You're...
There's a reason I was never into ancestor worship.
Wow, there's some crazy fate shit going on here. You watch as Stelsa's stunned stammers turn into laughter. The two of them make their way over to the couch and flip through a few more pages together.
I still can't believe I'm doing this. How are we even going to get off the Eustacia in the first place?
Alright, we've got our few. Oh yeah, that's the zebra thing.
I can't fucking believe... Wait, yeah, I can't fucking believe it. I promised you I'd always stick with you, and I meant it.
Don't worry, I've got this all figured out. Believe me, I've got like a dozen escape plans lying around here. This will be easy. We just gotta join Tagora when he makes his way back to Gallic's ship. We'll wait there until Malik can send us transport down to Alternia. Then we can hide out in Everdim or something, or maybe one of the caverns.
Tyzias freezes, realization smacking her in the face.
Holy fuck. I'm gonna get to see Daria again.
Well, if we do hide in the caverns, I suppose.
No, you don't understand. I haven't so much as texted Daria since Ascension. It's been a sweep and a half.
Tyzias envelops Stelsa in a hug.
Thank you so much.
Stelsa squeezes back, then looks expectantly at you.
Well, since you were so adamant on me joining the rebellion, I assume you'll be joining us too?
No, unfortunately, you still have some more friends to save. Actually, does she have any idea how you can get off the Eustacia?
There's a line of escape pods by the docking bay we came in on. You should be able to find your way there, no problem.
Just to see them happy. Yeah, I'm glad you can see them happy.
Yeah.
You don't know how about no problem, but you'll try your best.
You might want to hurry though. Work starts in a couple hours, and you don't want to risk getting caught.
Oh shit. Well, you guess it's goodbye for now. We hope you'll see them again before leaving Alternia for good. You all give a final wave goodbye before you slip out the door. You can already hear them flipping through the journal again as you leave. And that's it!
Yeah.
Discovered a shared cause.
This is one of JoJo's jingles here, the credit music.
Alright. That is it!
I'm gonna save. Boop. I should go back and get a straight revolution because of the thing at the very end of the game. Like, just blast through it and not on stream, but
Yeah.
just like in general.
Miss Parr's journey will continue in Volume 3, Lest the Dusk Bahamas. I still have to do my lines for that.
Yeah, that's fine. You have to finish that. You have most of them done. I am very excited about Volume 3. Volume 3 is like one of the ones where I just like completely pulled out all the stops.
Alright. So yeah, we are... Yeah. we are done.
I'm gonna go get something to drink if you want to
Yeah,
chat with
I will
folks.
keep the chat busy. So yeah, that is Friendsim 2 Volume 2. That is my child. I spent a long time writing that. If you have any questions about it, I am happy to answer any of them. And also, thank you all so much for showing up. Like, it's a Friday night. I'm sure you all want to be either, like, napping or getting drunk, but instead you're, like, hanging out with me and Janaya right now. So, yeah. Volume 3 is going to be fantastic. Clasp my hands together. Yeah, we have so much great stuff coming up. This was such a good stream. Thank you! Thank you for liking my stuff. Thank you for playing this game. So what's a hate honeymoon look like? I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like it exceeds the M rating that our game has.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
If y'all want to create an X-rated Galora honeymoon game, go ahead. It'll be fun.
Oh, God, Galore is so much fun to write. I don't care about MLM ships typically, but I really like Galora, and I really like writing Tagora too.
Okay, just because you're not old enough to get drunk doesn't mean that you won't. Do you think I waited till I was 21 before I had a single sip of alcohol?
I actually did. I waited till my 21st birthday to have a drink at all.
Which is wild. I mean, I never had a fake ID or anything, but like, alcohol falls into your hands, and when it falls into your hands, you put it in your body.
Sometimes you just find it.
Yeah.
You know?
In a hate wedding, do you slap your partner? Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. You may now slap the groom.
Oh my god.
Wait, who officiated the hate wedding?
I feel like Gallic could officiate his own hate wedding.
Would he
He's
officiate
a
his
civil
own,
servant.
though? I mean, he could, but would he? Stelsa officiated it.
Yeah, there you go. She's
You
also
may now
a government.
slap the groom.
She's also a government official. Stream is a great.
Wait, a pastime because you're. Oh no!
Oh shit!
I'm
well,
so sorry. Airports are so fucking annoying.
the
especially
hate
the
wedding
airports.
where you slap your partner. The one thing Janaya hasn't done.
Don't slap me.
I'm not gonna slap anyone.
Well.
Oh my god. That doesn't count. That's not what we're talking about. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, God, so, like, I've written a lot of this game, like, over half of it, and it's always fun to get to work on a route where I'm not the writer, because, like, the vibe is different, like, in terms of compiling everything and making the writer's, like, vision. Oh, underage drinking. No, I haven't drank while I was underage. Nor used drugs when I was underage.
You didn't use drugs until 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
You had your first weed
I had my
in my
first
bedroom.
weed. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so like working on the routes like this one or Volume 4 where I'm not the writer is cool because like, you know, I get to experience like a different person's take on the characters and like, I mean, Anna and I talked a lot about coordinating the characterization of especially like Tyzias and Stelsa.
Shania, you're missing out. SMH. When it comes to drinking, I'm ready for slapping your partner.
I mean, the drinking thing I do now, and the slapping I don't like, so I do not condone. Oh, I mean, I'm 39 now, so I'm well over age.
And I do condone underage drinking, so. I mean, make sure you're safe.
I feel like I shouldn't.
Don't binge drink. Don't always binge. But, like, learn your limits.
Yeah.
Don't never drink until you're legal and then just chug 3, like, vodka sodas and vomit everywhere. Like, take a drink and learn how much your body can take. And then, if you feel like normal after one drink, after you've done that a couple times, take another drink.
Yeah.
And if you know you get tipsy after one drink like me, don't do more. And that's the point of underage drinking, is learning where your limits are. I'm gonna be that parent that gives my kid wine when they turn 15, like my parents did.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like, normalized in some places, so...
Well, in Europe, it's like, oh, if you're 12, you get wine with dinner. Especially if you're in France. They love their wine in France.
Not writing can be fun. Yeah, like, I wrote a lot of the game, although, you know, some of it is, in coordination with other people, especially when I was writing to a route, like, Tyzias and Stelsa, when I was writing them in Volume 1, I was writing to this route, similarly, Volume 3 with Marsty. But that's fun, you know, it gives you a chance to, like, you know, stretch your legs and do things a little differently.
If I can die for my country, I can have a glass of wine.
Yeah, the drinking age being raised is, like, really fucky, like...
And
let's interpret statistics in a very specific way.
It's really fucky when people are like, let's raise the drinking age to 25, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost 25, and I have, like, a fucking master's degree. You better not raise the drinking age to 25.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like, and the draft ends at 26. So if people are starting to, like, consider people adults at 25, then you have all children in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, not that the United States has any, like, problem with using child soldiers, but, like, it's hard to be self-righteous about it. New Year's, because America is the only country... So, the reason for the 21-year-old drinking age has to do with, like, interpretation of statistics for highway deaths, like... way back in, like, the fucking, I don't know, 80s or 90s, and it was, like, I think maybe 80s, and it's, like, basically...
You can't do literally everything except drink at 18. Tobacco age has been raised to 21.
Yeah,
weed age is 21.
Weed age is 21, too.
There are all these fucking signs in the subway that's like, you cannot smoke weed until you're 21.
Yeah,
it's
one
like,
of the funny
bitch,
things
I'm
about,
24.
like, weed being legal in New York is, like, now you've got all the, like, government PSA signs about it. Like, yeah, that's, I mean...
It's like, you can't stop me from buying a vape pen for my sister. She turns 21 in literally 2 weeks.
Like, I mean, I don't fucking know. It's, considering how normalized alcohol is, and then, like, weed is not worse than alcohol.
It's better than alcohol. You can't overdose on it. Like, either way, you kill people if you get behind the wheel under it, but you can't overdose on it.
I mean, you can kill people if you get behind the wheel with, like, fucking cold medicine.
You can kill people if you get behind the wheel if you're, like, sleep deprived.
Right. Actually, being sleep deprived is equivalent to being, I think it's like over the legal limit of alcohol. Like, the research has suggested that if you are driving while you're sleep deprived, you are the same as if you're driving drunk.
And this is why I can't drive.
Yeah.
No, I can't drive because I'm too scared to. And, yeah, being neurodivergent behind the wheel isn't great either.
Oh god, yeah, that's not a fun experience. I've been driving for decades, and I still fucking hate it sometimes. I like driving.
I'll never have to drive as long as I stay in New York City the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. So, yeah, I really like this route. I am, like... So, I don't know if I talked about this in the last stream, but, like, this game's existence owes a lot to the progeny existing. Like...
Yeah!
If we hadn't... So, for those who aren't aware, we used to do fanfic reads back on the old Blended Media channel, which no longer exists. But we started reading The Progeny, and that was the first time I, like, really engaged with the Hive Swap characters. So we read The Progeny, I got to know the characters, and then, like, I started writing Hive Swap fic, because Anna suggested it, and I wrote, like, a short story.
Oh,
Well, I wrote
yeah.
a short story called Rolling Fire that was like had the revolution in the background, and then it was like, oh, I'd be interested to see your take on the revolution. So I wrote a 500-page novel that deals with that, and then a slightly longer sequel. And yeah,
Slightly longer, wasn't?
it's like 10,000 pages longer.
Oh, pages.
I mean words, 10,000 words longer.
10,000 pages.
Yeah, no, it's like they're both like 500 pages long.
That's a lot of pages.
It's a lot of pages. And yeah, so that was like part of the reason I got interested in doing this, and then like was coming down to like I wanted to make a sequel to the original Friendsim because I was like, this is a really cool game and it means a lot to me, but also like I'm not convinced that they would ever make a sequel, and I'm not convinced that like What Pumpkin will ever make another game.
You should definitely write Hive Swap fanfic. There's so little Hive Swap fanfic.
Yeah.
Like, the progeny still gets like a regular number of kudos, and I don't update regularly at all. And it's because it's like I mean, yes, there's Stelsius is probably, I think they're the second most popular ship.
Yeah, they have
Galora's
like
most popular.
they have like 50 fics instead of like one.
But when was the last time you saw a new Stelsius fic? Or any fic? And then, like, Pale Dartiz surprisingly has fewer fics.
Yeah, right. Chixie Elward.
Chixie and Elward has
I'm
3,
literally
and it's all
the
Janaya.
only one who's written those stories.
And they're a really good ship. People should ship Chixie and Elward
They are
more.
a good ship. But yeah, like the Hive Swap, the environment for Hive Swap is particularly sparse on the ground, especially like Hive Swap that's like not involving Mispar. Like just the characters, which is like honestly that's what I like. The stuff with Mispar, I didn't write Mispar except in this game.
But Mispar's a narrator.
Yeah, Mispar's a narrator.
Mispar's a narrator that is a character, but
Right.
like still has the narratorial voice. It's not like Mispar is someone you really have to get to know through writing.
I hate that Hive Swap Act 3 likely won't happen. You know what? I mean, like, I was very disappointed by Act 2, but like not because I think that it was a bad idea to make it or like whatever drama reasons. It was clear that the game like got to a certain point where it just had to be released, and like they ran out of time and money to polish it and finish it, and like that really sucks.
Yes, right, drunk, fit, drunk, fit, drunk, fit, drunk, fit.
Like it sucks when the developer can't make their vision come to reality, and like I can feel that in Act 2. It needed revision, it needed trimming in some places and expansion in other places, and generally like needed to be done, and that sucks that didn't happen because I was really hoping that would be good. I had burned very much out on Homestuck 2, and Hive Swap Act 2 seemed like a good, it seemed like a good thing to do that wasn't Homestuck specific, so I don't know.
You could probably make a better game than Act 2.
Zero experience.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like...
I mean, Act 2 has a lot of incredibly... It had a large team with a lot of incredibly talented artists. The strongest part of Act 2 was the art.
The art was fantastic.
It was, I mean, that's what we
like,
hired
I'm not gonna like, I am, like, I did not love the trial sequence was, like, definitely unpolished, like...
they could have cut so much of that Tagiri
Yeah,
dialogue. They could
so-
have just cut Tagiri,
like, there's a lot of, like, I mean, jumping back to our Volume 1, like, I don't think I'm the best at writing Ace Attorney games. There's probably a lot of, like, jank in it because I'm not a expert at that. But, like, the bottom line of it being, like, quickly paced and, like, having logic to it so you can, like, figure stuff out. And Act 2 kind of, like, dropped that. And then the adventure game sequences were fine, but, like, the game just kind of, like, runs out of steam after the trial. And it's, like, the reason was because they kind of ran out of
They spent
money.
all their money on the trial. And, like, yeah, the trial sprites looked great. And the music was fun. And, honestly, up until then, the story was pretty fun, other than the fact that, like, mini games were dropped because they ran out of money. But, like, honestly, it's kind of insulting when they dropped that joke, and it was like, oh, we're supposed to have a wrestling ring in here, but we ran out of money. It's like, great, yeah, you're telling us about your mismanagement of money. Love that.
And there are clearly, like, bits that were missing that were just, like, no, they haven't confirmed that they were missing, but things like, if they weren't planning to make them, they should have, like, having the forest have an actual, you know, anything.
Like, just a still image for a cutscene.
Yeah.
That would have been something. Like, honestly, I forgot there wasn't an image there. I had put a fucking image in my mind because I had thought it was, and then I went back and played it again. Though there wasn't anything there.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, like, having played a lot of those kind of adventure games,
I always wondered how you run out of money for a game. You mislocate it. That's not the word. Misallocate?
Misallocate it.
Yeah. So, should we tell them about the New York studio joke?
I mean, there's a lot of, like, there's resources out there if you want to know what happened with the money behind Friendsim and Pester Quest and Act 1 and 2, but, like...
They spent their money... They had $2.3 million, and they spent a lot of it in places that it didn't need to be spent, and $2.3 million seems like a ton of money, but if you're spending it on things that don't need to be there, it goes away really fast.
Yeah.
So while they should have spent that money on other things, and they just don't have any more.
Yeah, and like, and the game, like Act 2, like, you know, it doesn't look that complicated, but, like, when you start to break it down by, like, what you need done and the fact that you have to...
They say, like, don't you already have the programs and stuff on the... It's the art assets and the programming time and... Like,
yeah. Like, so, even when you're working with middleware, like, you have to do work to get it to do what you want it to do specifically. So, like...
Janaya, if you were paying yourself minimum wage, how much would you have to pay yourself for all the work you've done on Friendsim 2?
Give me my calculator.
Where's your calculator?
My phone. It's over there.
Like, if you're New York City minimum wage, $15 an hour. If you're paying yourself $15 an hour for all of the coding you've done so far, not even for the entire game, but just so far, how much money would you be paying yourself?
Fucking a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Oh, your plane's finally here. See ya.
Bye. Thank you for coming. I mean, I've probably put at least 400, 500, 600 hours of time into this. Probably more, like, even at minimum wage. Like, and programmers do not make minimum wage. Like, not even close. Like, paying for programming time would cost this game... Like, our game for programming time would probably cost, like, you know, $40,000 or $50,000. And when you get a game that's, like, Act 2, where you have more stuff going on, like...
That is
shit's
considerably
not cheap.
more.
Like, fan projects are different because they have the ability to, like, rely on the fact that people are doing work.
And the thing with fan games is, so, because you're not... Because there's no one... Well, there are people waiting for it, but it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're doing this for fun. And Friendsim 2... Well, I mean, we have literally the most... incredibly talented fucking multitasker right here for Friendsim 2. But if Janaya wasn't able to do the programming, this would be... We wouldn't be able to have such a nice strict schedule. We wouldn't be able to release a volume every month because, like, for people who aren't doing this as a job or aren't doing this as a very passionate passion project, like, aren't incredibly passionate about it, meeting deadlines might not be possible.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's Chrissy! Hi, Chrissy. Thank you for showing up.
Oh,
I'm
hey,
sorry
Chrissy.
I missed the stream. But, like... So, like, I'm getting to the point in my career where I'm going to have to start saying no to free projects. Because I had to pay rent.
Yeah.
So I need a job. And I'm writing, like, professional musicals and stuff. And if I was put on a project, say, where I had to voice a character, like a lot of lines for a character, and I wasn't getting any compensation for it, I'm putting that on the back burner. I'm doing my job first. I'm prepping scores and recordings for demos and performances for my personal projects that I'm very passionate about. Other people's projects, gonna go on the back burner. So, yeah, if you want something to meet deadlines, in the way Friendsim 2 is, and also in the way a game like Act 2 should have, and, you know, did, they put it out, like, you need to pay people a lot of money to make them invested in it, or it has to be something like Friendsim 2 where it is the person running it who is invested in it.
Yeah, like, that's... When it comes to, like, indie projects in general, your routes to get things done are either have the money to pay people to do the thing or be willing to do a lot of the work yourself.
And we have both of those avenues here.
Yeah,
Janaya
like
is paid.
I am this is a paid project. It's not paid at full commercial rates.
But the money is something.
But the money is something. It's not like, you know, nothing at all, and it's still like...
Like, if I have 3 pieces of music to write, and, like, the one for class becomes top priority, but the one that I'm getting paid $40 for goes at the bottom of the barrel,
Yeah.
where the one I'm getting paid $125 for gets priority after class.
Yeah, and, like, this is something where I'm, like, you know, I basically putting aside a lot of my personal money to do this because, like, I wanted the people involved in it to be able to, like, have work. I wanted my
Also,
studio...
you came across some money.
I came across some money, yeah. I came across money from my family, and, like...
And she's got a nice cushy job.
I do have a nice job.
A job that you don't have to work your ass off at, so you're, like, not
Yeah.
exhausted all the time.
Right, and that's the other thing, like, part of it has to do with, like, having the privilege to have, like, stable income and security to the point where you have free time and energy to do things. Like, I wouldn't be able to put the amount of time into this project I can, like, yeah, I have a lot of energy, but if I were working, like, 2, you know, like, customer service jobs, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Even one customer service job.
Yeah, and, like...
God, they're the worst.
Yeah, no kidding. And, you know, there's a lot going on there. Like, as much as it's fun to shit on What Pumpkin, I actually try not to be, like... I try to be more, like, even-handed with them because, like, there are a lot of factors involved and, like, a lot of shit was fucked. And at the end of the day, it just kind of sucks for everyone that was involved.
And, like, it's not the fault of, like, one individual writer or one individual...
Yeah.
Like, money it happened because of money mismanagement.
Yeah.
And that's not a moral failing. That's just, you know, they fucked up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you fuck up. Sometimes you want to do something... You put a lot of energy into doing something, and it just doesn't turn out.
Like,
And it sucks.
game dev and software project management is a thing that takes, like, skill to do. Like, so I mentioned I've been doing software development for a long time. I'm not a game developer in my day job. I'm a software developer for business software. But, like, a lot of the same skills in terms of project management and budget are the same, and, like, the company I work for, we have, like, project managers that specifically allocate those resources because your development time is limited. That's true of all of your creative people, like your developers, your writers, your artists. Like, it takes time to do everything. Like, some art is very time consuming. Backgrounds take a long time. Sprites take a long time. Like, music takes time to compose. You can't just, like, you know, we have a few artists that are ridiculously fast. Magpie is a very fast artist, but, like, if Magpie's got, like, commissions backed up or whatever, then, like, that's going to be a factor. So, like, you can't rely just on having, like, one person.
And, like, I can write a track in, like, 2 days, but I usually have to push that to the bottom of my priority list.
Luck is a big factor in our ability to pursue your passions. I mean, absolutely. Like,
my plans were calculated, but man, am I bad at math. Ugh, that's me.
Like, I mean, there, you know, it's and like there's a whole like that story behind all the What Pumpkin development stuff is like fascinating.
There's read the Geo article.
Yeah.
The Hive Swap debacle.
And
is that
like,
what it's called?
I think so. Yeah.
It's great.
It's on
I
Geo's
actually wrote
blog.
a song about it because it made me angry. There was a man who built an empire so tall.
And like, I don't know that like there's a lot of issues with like how you conceptualize game and software development, and like that there's actually some really interesting commentary about how HiveSwap was originally being developed versus how like most modern games are developed, where HiveSwap was originally being developed as this kind of like, you know, the designer produces a master document and everyone follows that in like a linear path, and that's not how most modern games are developed. Like they tend to be developed in pieces. Like I mentioned earlier that we have volumes 13 and 14, which are the end of the game basically done. That's because the game has like an overall plot, and that's done. And then we're kind of like filling in the pieces with different functional teams. So like, for example, writing is done on obviously volumes 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of 7, 9, 10, 13, 14. So like, it's like piecemeal.
All of Jania's rod space. Because she writes crazy fast. I mean, that's another thing. Like, we wouldn't be able to do this so fast if we didn't have the fastest writer in the world. She writes super fast. She codes super fast. She just does this all the time whenever she's doing literally nothing else. Like, we are so lucky to have her as director.
Aw, you're all bashful.
Thank you. Like, I really, running this has been a really cool experience, and I'm glad people are enjoying it, because, like, everybody that's working on this has put a shitload of time into it. Like, everyone is taking it seriously, everyone is doing, you know, a really good job, and it feels very coherent. So, like, that's been a really good thing, and I hope that people keep enjoying it, because, like, I'm really excited for some of the stuff in some of the future volumes. Like, really excited. So... The fastest writer in the West. I'm not in the West anymore, though.
Yeah.
I'm in the East again.
We're
well,
in New York
I'm in the
City.
West as somebody.
You're
From the perspective of, like, you know, the
what's
Europe.
more... Okay, yeah, you're
I'm
the
to
west.
the west of that.
You're in the Western world, I guess.
Yeah, west of the Atlantic. Exactly.
Yeah.
You get it.
It's like, what's further east than
I did live in Texas. I did live in I've lived in many places, but the last place I was living before moving back to New York was Texas. And actually the Tagora lines for this that you heard are some of the last lines that were recorded. No, that's not true. There's volume like 14 lines. Some of the last lines I recorded for this were the last stuff I did in Texas before I set up my studio here in New York, which is like way better. I think the volume 5 stuff that I did is the first like major thing I did for that.
Someone left this review on Friendsim too. Oh wait, yeah, we've seen this one.
Oh yeah, nice.
Jojo just posted it.
I love that we exist in this like legal gray area where like, thank you for not suing us, What Pumpkin. You're the best. We hope that your game.
We're giving them like free advertising.
We
right now, right?
hope that you've gotten more sales because of the game that we're making. Like genuinely, unironically, like I have a lot of issues with What Pumpkin and how it's been run and how some of the employees have been treated, but
Someone
like,
drew fan art of our Stelsa.
oh my god, that's so good. That's really good.
I love this.
It's really good.
Oh, and they did it on TikTok too.
That's so cool. The Stelsa design is really good.
I'm gonna retweet
That's amazing. But yeah, I like we've worked with a lot of the team members from the original games. They're really cool people. There's a lot of really creative people that work really hard on the stuff they make now, and they deserve support for what they've done. And like, you know, HiveSwap has a whole like thing behind it, but like, you know what? So do a lot of games. Like, game dev is hard and it takes a long time and it's a lot of work, and a lot of games fail. Like, a lot of games never get made, or they don't turn out the way that they're supposed to be. And, like, that's fine. That's just how things are. Game dev is hard.
You're east of me. We're still in the same state. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
fuck
like we were
there you
saying,
go.
we're not west of anyone.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think we should stop streaming.
Yeah,
so
we should
tired.
probably stop. Thank you all so much for coming.
Yeah.
If you like this, stay tuned. We're gonna be posting one every month for the next year.
Yeah.
Next one's coming out 6/12, Carcat Day.
Oh, we're doing Revolution 2. That's gonna be fun. We're doing Revolution 2. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, we're gonna do a Revolution on that
If
one?
we're doing a straight Revolution playthrough.
Oh, I didn't think we were gonna do straight playthroughs. I thought we were gonna do whichever one people seem to be doing less of in the streams that we watched.
Well, I was gonna try to do a straight one because we get that secret stuff at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The stuff that nobody knows about.
Oh,
because
sorry.
it's
I
secret.
wouldn't have said we had to do Revolution today.
Nah,
if
I can just skip through the. I have a save with the Revolution ending.
Well,
Yeah, if you play the game, just FYI, if you pick 100% one way or the other, there might be a little special thing that happens at the end of Volume 14. It's not a big thing, so, like, don't feel obligated and, do what your heart tells you, but, like, there is a little sort of wink at you if you do 100% Salvation or Revolution. Unless we decide to change it before Volume 13 comes out and then make it less strict, but I think we're going to keep it the way it is. It's a good little Easter egg.
yee. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you're not familiar with my channel and you'd like to be familiar with my channel, click on the subscribe button. I post Friendsim fun. I also post original songs. Actually, I don't know how many of you are familiar with my musical Times Apprentice, but that's not the only musical I've written. And I'm gonna start posting songs from my new musical this Monday, I believe, as long as I get the video back.
That's so fucking exciting.
I hope you like the idea of goddesses of revenge enacting vengeance upon men who harm women.
I'm really. It's been so cool to see that come together. Yeah. Please, if you like musical theater, if you like my stuff, if you like, current politics, and want to see good things happen to women and not good things happen to abusers, watch Maka. Pay attention to Maka. You'll like it. I've also got plenty of other stuff on my channel. Again, lots of fun Friendsim stuff. We've been doing political video essays together. Yeah.
So yeah.
And if somehow you've stumbled upon this recording at some point in the future and you are not following me, I also have social media. I'm at Janiyah Riley on everything now. And if you are somehow listening to this and haven't followed Friendsim 2 on Twitter, do that too, because we post updates.
And go download the game and play the route that we didn't play. Click on some of the other bad endings to see some dialogue you didn't see. There's lots of Easter egg dialogue and hidden stuff that, you just won't get otherwise.
We tried to make it a game that has, some depth to it, so you get to do some different things, and, some of the routes have a lot of little branching paths and stuff that you'll get to, play around with. So, yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all